Greetings, everybody, and welcome to the Sunday Culture Review. I made a mistake this morning. I was working on some woodworking projects and forgot to hit the Twitter promotion. So for those of you in the audience, if you wouldn't mind, please share the stream so we get some folks to show up today, although I'm sure a lot of people are getting their notifications right now. I'm pretty excited. We do have a lot to talk about. There's some old stories. There's some new stories. There's some "are you kidding me" stories. But let's get started. We have, like I said, a great panel today. Smaller panel than normal, but I'm okay with that. The amazing AFK Bard joins us as usual here, just to this side.
Hello. I'm happy to be here and talk about some of these crazy things with these lovely people. And I know they're going to say it later, but just subscribe to all of them right now. But honestly, welcome to Culture Show. This is going to be super awesome.
I agree with you. And since I'm going to do a little rotation here, move Wes up next because he is going to be leaving us early. So Wes, what's going on?
Oh, not a whole lot. Doing a lot of grown-upping, but on the channel, we still have Trekking on Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Pacific time, whatever, Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Pacific time on Wednesdays. And of course, I'm working on my project, which I believe you're going to be a part of, Culture Casino.
I believe I am. I think I already sent a little bit of voice work over, so I hope that works out well.
It was perfect. So look forward to that, folks. We're working on it. I'm trying to get it out by June. At least one episode at this point. I was hoping for the first 3, but it's hard coordinating schedules and things like that.
Yeah, well, that and you're also fighting adulting. Adulting is getting in the way of your fun.
It's the busy season. What can I say?
All right.
Do my taxes.
You make hay while the sun's shining. I think it's what
that's right. Yeah, well, you get that money. Get it. Speaking of getting that money and getting a lot of other things, we have our good friend Mock, and he draws with us here this morning. Good morning, Mock.
Boomerkini. It starts once again. Okay. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing how a swollen mouth has made you more productive somehow. And that's what it is with me, apparently, because I have been putting out a lot of stuff this past week, and I got plenty more to come out this week. By the way, yes, we are back on Mockity Live right after this. Special guest will be Grumpy Old Ninja Kintaro, one of the modded mods, a great supporter of so many people on this platform. So it'll be honored to have him on to chat with us and draw with us as well. Other than that, new show Thursday, Mockity Cafe. Time lapses on Friday, and the return of Maki Sketch Diary is back on Monday. So yeah,
You're busy too.
Yeah, I'm in creator mode.
Muy caliente.
And you're right.
Plus, I got a new channel.
Yeah, and you're right. Grumpy does promote a lot of folks, and we are very appreciative indeed. And last but not least, a creator of like so many things, including a web series that you can go and watch for free on YouTube. It's Ian.
Hello, everybody. How are we all today? Good.
Hey, Ian.
I'm here to give the UK perspective on pop culture, basically. Yeah. So it's great to be here.
I appreciate being here, and I guess it's early evening for you right now. Am I
correct?
Is
indeed. Yeah, it's 6 minutes past 7 over here in the afternoon. Yep.
Well, we have an amazing group of humans in the chat. We have Wes Moody, who has been a member of this channel for 17 months. Good gravy. I didn't think I'd be here 17 months later, and Wes has been here for 17 months. So thank you, my friend, with the the member message and all of that. We did get to our goal of 100 members, folks, and I will be the next member stream will be lit. And I will be launching the third tier finally, which I kept saying I'm going to launch it because I'm going to get to 100 members, and then I couldn't get to 100. And I got to 100 members, and then it fell again. And so
never say never.
But we'll get there. So never say never. That's right. We've got lots of great folks joining us in the chat. Judicon pops in. Judicon is everywhere all the time. Six, the ever lovely Six is here. We've got Small Time Republic, Sean Landrigan, Terry Rose, Mr. Runner, who had a birthday. Did you guys catch that stream? I did not.
That was a pre-birthday stream. So happy birthday.
Happy birthday there, my friend. And of course, we have Mutant Bam Hammer. He's there. We've got Judas Goat Barbecue. We've got Captain Trek here. What's going on? D-Bud Martin is here. Our good friend Rogue Disney is here. Kaylee. Hi, Kaylee.
Hey, Kaylee.
Kaylee's here. Of course, Ian is here with his Rebecca Gold channel. That's where you need to go to watch a great web series that Ian created that I promote all the time.
Cheers.
Our buddy One Man Show is saying hi to everybody, including Trav 101. And let's see who else rolled in. Oh, Kip Ellis is here from the UK as well. What's up, Kip? We've got Mondo Bizarro, Cal G, Bashi Washi, and Dr. Dragon swinging in. So I have not yet gone to the movies as planned, so that's going to have to fit into my schedule later today. Hey, what's up, Sander Homislag is here, and so is TZ Burton and Spirit of Sanity. Boy, do I wish I had some of that right now. But yeah, I've been to the movies. I'm going to go to the movies. I'm going to go and see Sonic 2, but it seems like I'm not alone. Any guesses? I know Mockety knows. Any guesses where we are with the box office? Because it was projected at 50 million plus.
That was my projection, and all I'll say is I am not surprised that Sonic has exceeded my expectations.
Woohoo!
That's
my boy.
I am not. It's not surprising, not in the slightest.
Well, the first one was really fun and entertaining, I found. Anyway, I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, it's a wholesome family adventure, honestly.
It was
You don't have to be a
90s.
Sonic fan to even enjoy it.
Yeah,
There was
actually,
something 90s about it, wasn't it?
Yeah,
film
and
felt like
90s.
and it felt that way. It felt pure. What did you think of the first film, Wes?
I still haven't seen the first film.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's
I
all
know
right.
that's a tragedy, man.
It's on my to-do list, and eventually my to-do list will turn into a to-done list.
To done list. Yeah, that's your life
I
should
know,
be
right?
lit. That's right. But and Rebecca Gold, thank you for that. Ian sends 10 pounds sterling, which is proper money. He says, here's some fun for coffees, mate. Well, thank you. That's like 4 coffees in the US, my friend. So thank you.
Excellent.
Yeah, and although as inflation increases in both of our countries, I don't know that 10 pounds. I won't do that again. I apologize, but I don't know that 10 pounds will get you a coffee in the near future.
I know, it's crazy, right?
Crazy, yeah. But Six thinks 58 million. Six. Well, you need to shoot a little higher. Hey, what's up? Zach is in the chat. What's up,
Like I
Zach?
said, exceeded expectations.
I look forward to putting my money in and view into that later today as well.
Well, you know what? I won't hold you in suspenders or bury the lead. Here it is. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 beats weekend opening of first movie with 71 million.
Woohoo! That's my boy.
That's domestic numbers. That's the domestic numbers. So that's pretty darn impressive. Of course, Ambulance didn't do great. Did not.
No, it did not.
It's funny, isn't it? But it's funny because it's so obvious people just want to be entertained and laugh and have a good time, and hence why Spider-Man No Way Home did a huge amount of box office in loads of countries. So it's a shame Hollywood doesn't realize that. So,
Well, and it's like a story that. Oh, sorry.
Oh, is Ambulance a sequel to that? That movie Taxi with Queen?
No.
No, it is actually a strange bird. It is a kind of an action film where you never stop moving. Chris Gore described
it's a Bay film.
Yeah,
It's a Bay
Oh,
yeah.
with Jake Gyllenhaal.
But Chris Gore described it as basically a ride that never stops. Speaking of a ride that never stops, Prince Lethal here for $2 Australian. Thank you, my friend. Says, hey, babe. Hey, what's up, Prince Lethal?
who is he speaking to? That's the question.
I assumed me, but okay.
I'm not surprised that it did so crappy, just because it's so generic, and it's like generic, and even just like the bad guy is doing it for a good reason, and so he's gonna just keep breaking the laws because it's for a good reason, and you should be on his side. And it's just like, I'm so done with those, and it's just so cliche. And like, who wants to go watch that when they have like all these new fresh things?
I know. I'm just tired. I just want to see Jake Gyllenhaal in better films. I just think he deserves it.
It just seems kind of crazy, but we'll look at these numbers real quick. When I mean it crashed, I mean it actually crashed. So here we are, Sonic 2 outstripping a 3-day opening results of the first film with 71 million. It is the biggest domestic opener for Jim Carrey. Even better than Bruce Almighty at 68 million. Sonic's updated gross is an estimated 26 million Saturday, which is up 1% against Friday, plus previews of 26.8. Technically speaking, Jeff Fowler directed the sequel, was up 30% on Saturday over Friday. That's really impressive. Let's take a look here. Scroll down a ways. Critics at 68% on Rotten didn't curtail business for Hedgehog. Of course not, because we don't care what the critics say anymore, so they're kind of worthless.
No one does.
Okay, here's the demos. Okay, this is fun stuff for me. I'm weird. Demos were 61% guys, 39% women, 32% under 17, 46% between 18 and 34. The diversity demos, which, this is all ComScore data, so take it with a grain of salt. Latino and Hispanic turnout at 38%. Again, over-representing the demographic breakdown.
Well, how do you even measure that? Like, I don't remember ever checking a box when I buy a Fandango ticket. Like, what ethnicity are you?
Well, when you sign up for Fandango or A-List or all these things, they do ask questions that are optional and that you can get data there. But that's not how they do it with some of these films, some of these scoring systems. They actually do exit interviews like they do for exit polls.
Oh yeah,
people walk out. Yeah. It's the same way they do it with the film.
That's not very good though. That's not. It's just a guess. Then they're guessing. All this stuff is a guess.
Yeah, it is a guess.
Yeah, wow. It is. Yeah, and Trav and I both listened to Chris. Chris says it had plot holes and woke elements. It was just lots of problems with the ambulance film, but
I thought you were talking about Sonic. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, we have something very important that Tommy wants to point out, and I agree with that if you have a couple of extra dollars scratched to put together. Tommy from the Guinea Pig Collective for $5 says Drew Supreme Heretic, our good friend Drew, who from time to time is here on our panel. He's on lots of shows. He's got a great show on Tuesdays. He does some wonderful stuff on Thursday. And he works for Bounding Into Comics, but he's in a pickle because his mom passed away. It set him back considerably financially. So if you wouldn't mind, the link is right there. GiveSendGo/Taylor Legacy. And if you have a couple extra bucks, it would really, really help. So thank you for that, Tommy, and promoting our friend.
Thank you, Tommy.
We do appreciate it. Here we go. Final Monkey says, nice to see Everything Everywhere All at Once is doing good for an indie, but it needs more love. I agree. And that's one of the films I'm going to try to see this week. I'm trying to do a lot. Go ahead.
I wanted to ask you about that.
Yeah.
Because I've seen because I watch YouTube on my phone and I get adverts every single time of that. So I was wondering how well did that do in the box office?
Well, I will look up the numbers while we're talking, but I don't think that it got the kind of exposure everywhere that it needed. Mm-hmm. It's supposed to be really, really good. Mm-hmm. But again, it's kind of an indie, as Final Monkey says, and it's kind of a niche film because it doesn't have the studio support that it deserves. I don't even think that's the right description. It's not a niche film. It could very possibly be a mainstream. Hopefully it gets some legs because of word of mouth. Mm-hmm. So I appreciate that Final Monkey brought that into the chat.
It was promoted to hell.
I didn't
YouTube.
see. I haven't seen one thing.
I've seen it pretty much on every single video I've watched, and because when I'm on YouTube, I watch. I have YouTube on Brave, so it doesn't show any ads. But when I'm at work, I watch YouTube all the time through my phone, and they played ads like that almost on every single video for like the past week and a half, 2 weeks or so.
Yeah, okay. Everything Everywhere All at Once opened a while ago, but it
What is
looks
it
like
about? Never heard of it.
It's like a multiverse. It's like kind of like a multiversal
Oh,
comedy, I guess.
I kept seeing that ad and thinking it was for the Eternals and just rolling my eyes at it and skipping it when I could. But it's just like a weird zany fighting thing with universes. But nah.
Okay.
but it does. But again, it's one of those really cool A24 films that that we may not have much longer, because who knows how long A24 is going to last as an independent studio, to be honest with you. So, but
Well, that's true. That's a good reason to watch it.
yeah,
Give them support, while you can.
for sure.
Agreed.
We've got lots of folks rolling through the chat, several folks joining us late. Thanks for that. Thanks for the support, everybody. Thanks for being here. We've got lots of amazing things happening in the chat. So thank you all for being here. I do appreciate it. We are, anyway, going to continue to dive into Sonic 2 real quick. But yeah, so the Latino and Hispanic audiences exit score at 38%, again, overperforming the market. Caucasian at 29%, 20% Black, and 13% Asian. So this was probably one of the most diverse film audiences we've had in a really long time. Sonic is a mainstream property, in my opinion, and as they continue to build upon it, I think it'll do really well. Are you guys interested in the Knuckles sequel that's coming out of this?
I know they're doing a multiverse, but one thing that I am very interested in, is there's been talks about it, is that because of the success of 1 and 2, Jeff Fowler now is coming out saying, hey, he wants to do the same thing with a live action Super Smash Brothers.
Wow.
And for those who don't know, Smash Brothers is a huge IP.
So would that kind of look like a Wreck-It Ralph type movie with a whole bunch of different characters showing up?
It's like freaking Avengers. It's basically the Avengers, because you have characters. Most of the characters are from so many different Nintendo franchises, with crossovers with characters from other franchises as well.
Samus versus Luigi.
Why is everybody trying to do this multi-universe crossover nonsense? Why don't you just stick to one film and make a sequel, and then make another sequel and make another sequel? I mean, I know it's more money, but it's obvious.
Dream. It's a wet dream for them, because they don't have to have ideas in their head. They could just throw whatever they want at the wall and give it an excuse to exist.
Yes.
It's incredibly lazy.
We need a Yoshi's Island movie. Where is it? It's 30 years too late. Please, Nintendo.
That might be interesting. What's weird is this question from Trav 101, and I want to get into this before we move on to the next thing. What is Sonic doing differently that other video game adaptations can't seem to do?
I think the answer is simple. Is it's staying close to the source material,
right?
But I think it's doing it in a way that it's clear that the people who are behind this are very well versed in the character, and made it so that it's not only it pleases the fans, who has already a large fan base, but makes it very easily accessible to new audiences, to younger audiences, to new people who aren't familiar with the Sonic character. In a way, it straddles that line. It straddles that line and does it with craftsmanship. It's craftily done, I guess.
I think it's threefold, isn't it? It's basically capturing the people that used to play it like me when I was a kid, and also capturing the new audience. But also, on top of that, which is the most important thing, is to make sure that the film is entertaining.
Exactly.
And speaks to the audience. And those three things they get right. That's it. I mean, it's not rocket science, is it?
No.
Yeah, that's actually really perfect. I mean, I think that's what makes that movie so succinct and like relatable. Is like, it's at the core. It's just like, no matter if it's a video game movie or there's action or whatever. I mean, like, there's this nice like relationship between him and this other person, and it's really just about him fitting in, and it's like everybody can relate to that too.
That's right. Yep.
Right.
That's
and
right.
on top of that, it's just, concerning the history, the fact that you had the entire animation studio have to go under just to make the necessary changes, because they did what a lot of people want to see, is that they responded to fan feedback.
Yeah.
And they took that in stride.
Yeah, but I you know, and I think that they do such a great job with the adaptation. You know, as far as the way we should see the character in the real world, and kind of bringing the game elements over, including sound effects and other things, you know, in the sequel, based on just the trailer. I haven't seen the film yet, but I will be seeing it very soon. Like,
I think AFK hit the nail on the head, basically talking about the relationship. In the first one, it was a relationship between Sonic and I can't remember the sheriff's guy,
Right.
and they made a good team, and they were quite funny together as well. And then you got Jim Carrey, who made me laugh in the first one as well. Plus, right, you can tell that they knew the game. Whoever wrote it knew the game very, very well with the rings and all that stuff. And as I said, it's all about entertainment at the end of the day. If it's well written and it's well performed and it comes from your heart as filmmakers, from the filmmaker's heart, it's going to translate to the screen.
Right.
And
this to your point, exactly, Ian. This to your point, Thunderduck says, I watched Sonic. It was very good. Old school movie, family movie, 90s family movie, a real family movie, what Disney movies used to be. And multiple people in the chat have been saying that. It is solid family entertainment. It appeals to adults and children alike because there's something there for everyone and there's not a lot to offend. And that was why the first film was
yeah, sure. Also, they got the. I mean, obviously, Sonic doesn't talk when you're playing the computer game, as far as I remember.
Right.
But they got the character of Sonic likable as well. He was irritating to the sheriff guy, which I can't remember his name, but he was likable. You liked him. You cared about whether he wanted to fit in or not. Do you know what I mean? He was trying to hide himself most of the time, so you care about him, and that's another strength of the writing.
Well, there's just like those moments in the movie too. Like, it's so simple, like where you can convey so much without even saying anything, like that, the baseball field.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, to this day, like, that's such a poignant scene where it's like he's looking at it and trying to play by himself and feel like what it would be like to play with other kids. And it's just like, oh, my heart. We've all kind of felt that at some point, like wanting to fit in and have friends and stuff.
Yeah. And it touches you across the board because it's relatable. And you know what? Sonic doesn't look like you. Speaking of Brahmable in the chat. Brahmable has become a member of the channel. Thanks for that, Brahmable. We are now over 100 members. You guys are incredible. I really appreciate you all. You're incredible. And to that end, yes, we will get to the Brie Larson Fast and Furious conversation a little bit later.
Okay. We talk about, and I say this is because we all talk about, you know, problems with a lot of stuff is not staying faithful to the original source material. What many seem to forget is that there has to be when you try to stay faithful to the source material, there has to be a talent behind that, though, because sometimes when you stay faithful to the source material, that can go wrong on the other side. You know, where it kind of alienates everyone. So I think it's what reason why Sonic does well is because it not only stayed faithful to the source material, but it did it in such a masterful way.
Right.
In a way it just hit that right mark where it is able to capture everyone.
Well, it's like they integrated it, basically. Yeah. It's not like they put the pieces there and then you experience them as you're going along.
Or members berries.
You guys want to see a comparison, though? It's not worth much yet because Fantastic Beasts hasn't opened here in the States yet. Here we go.
Open here.
Yeah, I know. And here's the weird thing. So the international box office after in all the markets where Sonic 2 and Fantastic Beasts opened up simultaneously, Sonic was number 1 to its number 2 across the board. The international box office coming in from Fantastic Beasts is 58 million. International to date reported, again, that we're lagging way behind on these international numbers. We're 71 million or 70 million, excuse me. So right now you were looking, and again, they're a week apart. Let's just be fair about it. But we're a week apart on these two films, and we will have to see where we finish up when these things are done here in a minute. But I wanted to say hi to Keck44. I want to acknowledge Marby Dog is on the right track with a lot of this stuff. I'm interested in this perspective as far as James Hurley has on Ambulance. So I will eventually see it. And Tommy asked a question, or or says a statement, I guess, for $5. Thanks, Tommy. He says, Brie Larson is a shaved Sasquatch. Change my mind. I think
It's funny when you're talking about the Harry Potter spin-off film.
Yeah.
Am I the only one that found the last movie boring as hell?
So, from what I've never seen it, it's just like, from what I've heard, the first one was fine. The first one was fine.
The first one was okay. Mm-hmm.
The second one wasn't. Wasn't anything to write home about. But it wasn't until that, the situations that spoke out between JD and AH. That's why I'll use that abbreviation for culture.
We're gonna get there in a minute. So
it's basically gone off a cliff. And on top of that, and it's not just because of that situation of JD being replaced with Mads Mikkelsen, but keep in mind, this is Harry Potter franchise, and people are still, till this day, people still have a issue with J.K. Rowling.
Yep.
Well,
they
and on
cannot
top
let
of
it go. It's just I don't know. You can't let it go.
I think on top of it, what makes the movie super sloppy, at least for me, is they've lost focus and tone. Like their tone is completely all over the place. Like when they had the first movie, I assumed the series would be about Newt, right? And like his little magical adventures with creatures. And I was like, it sounds stupid, but that sounds like a great kids movie that takes place in the Harry Potter universe. And then they decided to throw in all of this like political, like, like whatever pure blood stuff into the next movies and drag Dumbledore and his relationship stuff in there. And it's just like, what does this have to do with magical creatures or Newt in the first place? Like, it's just such a hot mess. I'm not surprised that nobody really cares about the third one.
You're absolutely right, because in the first one, the reason why I liked the first one was because Newt and the relationship or the friendship he had with I can't remember any of their names, the ordinary guy that didn't have any magical powers, whatever. It was a great relationship. Also, I like the idea that he was the hero, but he didn't use any violence, or he shied away from most of that stuff. And
he was kind of like the Doctor Who, right?
Yeah, exactly. He cared more about those creatures than humans. In that film, you can see that he cared more. He'd rather let a human die than let the magical creatures that he cared about die.
Right.
So that was a great dynamic. And then the second one just was completely nothing like the first one. And I don't even know what this one's all about. So there you go,
Well, didn't you know Dumbledore has a secret?
He's gay. Tell me he's gay. That's probably what they're going to say, right?
Yeah, I'm sure. But that's honestly beside the point, right? It's whether or not something's entertaining doesn't matter. None of those other factors matter. Is it a good story? Does it entertain the audience? Is it worth seeing a second time? This is how I judge everything. And when I look at films like Sonic 2 looks like the audience thinks it's a good film. And to that end, you have Rugo Betta mentioning it's not like Halo. Right, where they bragged about knowing nothing about the game. We just talked about the fact that Sonic, they knew what they were doing with this character.
They knew what they were doing, and they went out of their way to make the changes. The moment that people saw, everyone saw reaction to the first design of Sonic.
The equivalent
they heard it, and they went out of their way to change it.
Yeah, the equivalent of this with Halo, right? It would be like, okay, we got a Sonic movie, but technically the main character is going to be Amy, and like Sonic is just going to be off to the side and need her help, and it's like no, hot mess.
Not at all.
This would be really funny.
Klutzman Trek.
Yeah, it would be really funny if they were a Klutzman Trek. How did you bring that in?
People not understanding source material.
Oh God. Yeah, exactly, Wes. Wow. Yeah, we complain about that all the time.
It's basically I think another reason why we're happy about that is because after seeing what's been happening recently, we're glad that it didn't turn into that. It didn't turn into another Klutzman Shrek.
Well, the question you guys got to ask yourself, especially with Sonic the Hedgehog, is that did the studios and whoever was in charge ultimately allowed them to just do the film and not interfere? Because most of films that get made, especially through the Hollywood system, the people that are in charge, they always interfere with the actual creation of the show.
True.
So for Sonic, maybe they just didn't interfere. Maybe they just left it to the people that cared about it most. You know?
Yeah, because they left it to. I think that might be the case. Left to the people that care about the most, and I think that was, with Sonic still being Sega's biggest IP, and Sonic having that rich and very fruitful fan base that it has, to know that they pull the same thing off, and they know that Sonic's fan base will not have any of it whatsoever. It's like Lord of the Rings. It's like a lot of other stuff, and believe me, I know that because I used to be one.
Yeah, and think about it. I mean, Chef right here is saying, "I'm going to be honest. The Harry Potter video games looks better than Fantastic Beasts."
It does.
It does. Have you seen even the Lego, the specifically the Lego one, the most recent Lego one looks like it was way more entertaining than anything that's been coming out. Right? It's insane.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to that Harry Potter game that's coming out this Christmas or winter, whatever. Yeah, that looks fun.
You do realize that it took, is it almost 15 years for Sonic the Hedgehog to come to screen? It really did take ages because it was way back that they wanted to make it into a movie, because it was when they made the Mario Brothers movie. That's when they wanted to make Sonic.
Good gracious, wow.
Yeah.
That is a long time ago.
Thank God Mario came out first and stopped them. Because can you just imagine what it would have looked like if they did it, though?
Especially with that 90s era of bad.
Yeah, that's crazy.
E-Clay, it seems like Ambulance is kind of a hardcore Henry knockoff. I think you're right.
Yeah, that's what I get, especially if it's directed by Michael
Christian
Bay.
Fandom Geek, good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Even Star Trek Online is better than what they're putting out right now. Yeah, I actually enjoyed that for a period of time. I thought that was an interesting MMORPG style game. So I know a lot of people still play it. So, but wow. All right. Well, I feel like we talked this to pieces. Anybody planning on seeing Sonic? Raise your hand.
Me.
I guess I'm going to watch the first one.
I still need to watch the first one, though.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, you guys need to get on that.
You have homework.
Fast.
That's right.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna hopefully in just a few hours be checking out Sonic 2. So I'm pretty excited.
Oh, cool.
That. Yeah. All right. So let's move on. We've got tons to talk about. We won't get to it all today, but let's go here. Warner Brothers is a bloodbath. It's been insane.
Oh dear.
This thing we knew by the time we were able to confirm 100% it was closing Friday after speculation. It did actually close Friday. Deal's done. It is now Warner Brothers Discovery, and it's under the leadership of Mr. David Zaslav, the gentleman pictured on the left. He is known for, essentially doing what needs to be done, whether it is to get rid of the Deadwood or completely destroy entire programs to create something that actually works. He doesn't have a lot of tolerance for failure, so he's getting rid of people. So right now, this is the way it looks. Bye,
Brian Stelter.
And
Sarnoff is gone.
And Sarnoff was probably the biggest one there. We knew that Jason Kilar wouldn't last longer. Jason was originally going to leave right away, but they managed to keep him through this point in time. He left
through the merge. Yeah, that was surprising because I thought they were he was going to let go just before the merger happened.
Yeah, he walked away right at a couple days beforehand, and then, but it looks like you're going to end up with the new ticker symbol tomorrow, WBD. So that'll be what it'll be trading as. As I said, David Zaslav will be the leader. You'll end up with a lot of people taking places that they basically mirrored over at Discovery. JB Perrette, who had been the head of streaming and international, was installed as CEO and president of global streaming and entertainment. Gunnar Weidenfels, former CFO of Discovery, is now going to be holding the title at the new company, obviously with expanded areas. You have Bruce Campbell, who became the chief revenue, not that Bruce Campbell.
No.
Strategy
officer. That would be groovy.
Kathleen Finch is going to be overseeing all linear networks. So basically, going from just lifestyle brands, like their garden and cooking kind of stuff. She's going to be in charge of all linear television, which means they're going to lean harder into reality-based television shows like they were before. And I think, and again, this is a guy who wants to give people what they want. So rumors about the Snyder Cut will continue, or the Snyderverse will continue to happen, right? And as Wes said, there's going to be some major shifts over at CNN, who's already replaced Zucker with Chris Licht. That wasn't a step up, guys. That was this guy here is very politically driven to one particular side of things, and he used to work for Colbert, was his producer. So not a step up in any way there. So, but these are the people exiting the company. You lost Jason Kilar, you lost Ann Sarnoff, Andy Forcell, who will find a job almost immediately. Jennifer Beery, who was also the chief diversity in something or another thingy majiggy. Oh wait, no, that was Chrissy Halberger, who will be there for a little while longer. Although she's definitely going to be out.
What's her title?
She was EVP of Communications, Chief Inclusion Officer, which means that's the diversity position you get.
Why do you even need a department like that?
You don't.
You don't, do you?
Well, nowadays you do. See what I did?
Yeah, well, before it's
title
because
pop up
Jesse
more
Jackson's
companies.
Rainbow Coalition would sue you.
Yeah, there are a couple names I know will immediately get jobs. One of them is Andy Forcell. The other one is the chief counsel, Jim Mesa. He's going to get a job right away. So
the best way to deal with diversity is actually hire someone of color and get him in, put him in a title where he creates series and TV and films with people of color. Yeah. That's it. I mean, it's not rocket science. Do that. You know.
So the Chris Licht thing that was before it was finalized, right? So that's I mean, he's not really going to be there, is he?
He will be. At least for the time being, we'll see. David Zaslav is a hatchet man. It doesn't matter if it costs him a bunch of money. He will get rid of somebody. So, like I say, they placed Licht before. It was like the final thing inside. So whoever was there that manipulated that into existence might be the only reason that certain personalities survive at CNN. But with the biggest investor on the Warner Brothers side, people don't, on the Discovery side, people don't understand this, but John Malone is the money for the Discovery networks. He doesn't like CNN as it exists now. He wants hard news entity and not the politically driven news stuff. So we'll see. I actually have a bunch of stories coming out about all of this, but they have a chance right now to hit the reset button at CNN to make it valuable. And I don't think Stelter survives. I don't think Lemon survives. I don't think Jack Tapper survives. I think you're going to lose those three at least. There's one female that's I can't remember her name. One female anchor lead person, whatever you want to call her. That's probably not going to stick around either. So we'll have to see. But let me tell you, Chris Wallace regrets what he did leaving Fox. I mean, he's came out with an article beforehand, but he's at war with CNN now because it was Zucker he came over for, and there's no Zucker now. So there you go. Yeah, of course, I always mispronounce his name on purpose as Zucker. I actually had somebody comment on that in a video.
Do you know what, right? It must be really horrible working in that kind of environment. You must be stressed all the time, worried about your work, worried about whether you're making is going to be successful. It's awful.
Well, people have to worry about, weirdos going after their kids and leaving their kids out.
So... no, go ahead, Culture.
No, I was just going to say, I mean, you have this weird environment that we live in now that is incredibly toxic, and you can relate that to what's happening over at Disney, and believe me, we will as we go on through the show. But anyway, what were you saying, Mark?
Okay, so aside from CultureCasino, of course, which you guys should follow for the coverage, but two other channels I recommend is, of course, Clownfish TV. Who has been covering the whole Warner Discovery merger since day one, and also 24/7 Fusion Media, who is so close to 1K. He just needs that, man. He just needs that. But
we advertising other channels now?
I'm bringing those up because I know. I'm just bringing those up because those are big into the Warner stuff. They've been covering it for a long time.
Yeah.
And plenty of other channels have definitely been covering this more stuff.
Yeah.
From what I've heard, Zaslav is basically a no BS, no baloney sausage kind of person, and he will drop anyone in the drop of a hat.
Yeah.
So he has his own like entourage, his own group. So it's going to be interesting to see where he is going to change with this. Some of the other things that I want to bring up is kind of what's going to affect. Not only how is this going to affect some of the other properties, like the ones that Culture mentioned, but of course the big one is the DC extended universe. We're seeing that drama with Ezra Miller and the Flash, and in my personal opinion, I do think that the
production.
DC, yeah, it's not. Well, they probably can't.
I'd stop production right away.
I know, but unfortunately, probably can't. But in my opinion, humble opinion, I do think the DC, just the entire extended universe, the way it was handled was an absolute mess, an absolute disaster, and it should have been handled so much better. I'm sorry. There's some gems in there, but as a whole, it was an absolute mismatch of a mess. And for what it seems to be like what's going on with behind the scenes with the Flash and everything, that they're trying to wipe their hands clean and start over under the Discovery merger. Some other things that does interesting, and I guess under the form of entertainment, is Crunchyroll used to be under Warner, but Warner sold Crunchyroll off to Sony, and Crunchyroll is an anime streaming service. They're going to be taking over. They're actually going to be absorbed. Funimation, which was under Sony, is going to be absorbed under Crunchyroll, so that's off Warner's hands. But the other thing is interesting is Rooster Teeth. Rooster Teeth, who you guys may know from the old Red vs. Blue, the old Machinima days. They have basically been free falling and such. So much so to their flagship series, Ruby, is being outsourced to an anime studio. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say
I got to get going. So
see you, Wes.
I'm glad that I was able to make this this Sunday Culture Review. Love this show. Love the panel, and just growing up has intervened, and I'm glad it has again. So I've got to get going. I've got like a million things that I have to get to right now.
Got to make that.
Take care, Wes. Take care,
Wes. Much love.
All right, thanks, guys.
Ciao.
Check out Wes Moody at the Wes Moody Webcast. He does great streams. Everything that you could ever possibly want to get covered, he gets a chance to cover. So, but Mock, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but he had to go. So go ahead.
No problem. So with Rooster Teeth, I've been following. If you follow channels like Hero Hey and of course Cloudfish TV, who've just been that place has been just kind of free falling, and we're not seeing this. Probably not going to have that much longer staying power with a lot of people moving out. There's been a lot of drama under that company, so I'm guessing that Warner is going to be wanting to clear their hands off of Rooster Teeth as well, and just kind of get rid of it in the same way they did when they bought up Machinima. And the other thing that I think is people are wondering, and people are mentioning this in the comments. What about DC Comics?
DC
Comics, it's a similar situation with Disney and Marvel right now. So
it's going to get hit again. It was already hit twice before under LotR. It's going to get hit again. You have a lot of people that are pushing for that content to get licensed fully out.
Right.
So, but real quickly, I want to, since we have the opportunity, thank you, Darkside George, for the $10 super chat. Didn't say anything. Appreciate that. Wow, I know I'm behind on supers now, guys. So thank you for all of that. I appreciate it. But we end up getting talking, and then things happen. But thank you for that. Just a little straight up, devil's horns. Thanks, Darkside George. You rock, my friend. But yeah, we've got. Hey, look at this. It's Drunk 3P. What's up,
Jay?
But anyway, we have arrests of the star of the film that is in the DC universe, since we were just talking about that. And, there's a lot of internal, issues going on here where you have an emergency meeting that happened that Tug actually, that Umbrella guy actually broke in advance of it being reported wide. You have fans that want him replaced with Grant Gustin, which I know that AFK Bard super excited.
I would be 100% behind that.
Yeah.
Can I just ask a quick question to Casino? Yeah. Do you think all of this that's happening with all these companies is far more complicated than we actually see it?
I'm sorry, ask that one more time.
Do you think what's happening in these companies, from Warner Brothers to all these major studio companies, is far more complicated than we see it? Than you doing a deep dive, and there's more to it than your deep dive.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
There's way more. There's
Totally.
Yeah.
So you have studios that have kept their mouths closed, particularly Universal, Comcast Universal. They have not said word one about what's happening in the Florida education bill, right? They don't want to compromise a giant earnings center, right? Disney is compromising a giant earnings center. I've talked about this on multiple streams, and I can't minimize it in any way. I can't emphasize it any more than it should be. That theme parks is where Disney is most profitable. In particular, Disney World itself. It is a city, or it's two cities technically. I mean, well, it's two towns, but it's a city unto itself. It has its own regulatory bodies. It has its own stuff. And when it comes to that, they really should not have put their foot in their mouth. There is so much going on internally with these companies, and they're always struggling against, certain people who are pushing, certain types of agenda. So yeah, there's always a lot more going on the inside. Right now there is a struggle in corporations in the United States and globally. It's not just a U.S. problem. It's happening in Australia and other places as well, where you have the fight over profitability and this other baloney sausage political agenda, right? This, people not profit thing, which isn't true. They still want to make money. That's the nefarious aspect of the ESG score, because you can not rely on an audience, as Marby Dog said way a long time ago in the chat, and just rely on those funds. So you have a lot of companies that'll never, or aren't designed to make profit, that'll continue to have funds poured into them, and they'll eventually get an IPO. They'll be listed on the market, and it's a shell game. They have no value. I mean, it's one of the things I think Elon Musk was trying to point out today. He had a tweet where he said, we need to get rid of advertising on Twitter, because without advertisers, there's no influence that they can weigh on the platform. It's not really decentralization. He wants to do it through like a subscription model, through like Twitter Blue, right? So you sign up for the pay for Twitter thing for $2-3 a month or whatever, and you don't have to rely on advertisers anymore. You also get an immediate check mark as a registered user or whatever, and so on and so forth, like an authentication mark is what he called it.
Because one of the reasons why I asked that question, because it was I was watching this film, okay, and I don't know if you've seen it. It was called Moneyball.
Moneyball with
Brad
Pitt.
Brad Pitt. Yeah. And so I don't know the ins and outs. I don't know baseball, but what I did get at the ending was that he was trying to change the face of how baseball was actually looked at, and he actually made something happen with very little money, right? And so it's simple. It's very simple if you want to achieve success in that kind of business. And he achieved it because it's based on a true story, right? So I was wondering, when it comes to things like this, Warner Brothers and all these huge studios, they can achieve what they want to achieve, but they don't do it because other people, it would take money away from other people. Like the guy was saying to Brad Pitt at the end, and he was saying, you did something that no one else has done, but you do realize that the people at the top will not allow you to go any further because, you're talking about money here. If we took your model, that money will go away from so-and-so, and then, it'll devaluate this and devaluate that and stuff like that. So, the whole system of the way it works is in a quandary, isn't it? So it's the same thing with this, isn't it? Warner Brothers know what to do, but they don't do it because of certain factors, right?
Right.
Is that the thing?
That's so true.
That is true. That's true. But I do think in Warner's case is that, like what you were saying, Ian, is like they know what they can do to salvage this, but instead of going that way, they probably realizes that what they've been doing before put them in such a deep hole that they feel that the only way out is to basically wipe their hands clean upon the Discovery merger. You know what I mean? Like completely just wipe their hands. It's like get whatever they need to get out, like the Flash film, and that's the last of like the old stuff. And they're going to start with a brand new slate upon the merger.
Well, and Disney continues to trend downward as far as the stock price goes. Whereas I have a feeling that when Warner starts trading on Monday as what did I say? A WBD. When that thing goes across the ticker, it's going to tick up. It's going to continue to tick up. It's going, again, there's solid leadership in place. They want to bring quality entertainment to the masses. They have a lot of tools to do so. And they have, again, a guy at the top and a very influential investor that wants to make money. So, it's who's going to put people on the board of directors.
They're fighting against the system, aren't they? Casino.
Always.
So that's the thing. It's like trying to enter into politics. You enter into politics with a pure heart and a good set of brains. But when you're in there, you get influenced by so many different people, and your whole aspect of the way you saw it in the first place changes because you have to change because of the system.
Right.
To get anything done, you have to work within the systems. And I guess it's the same thing with all these studios. People want to do the right thing, and they know if they do the right thing, they'll get huge success. But it's money that's stopping them. It's the people that are in charge of money and all these things in place, isn't it? So
always. Yeah.
I think that.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, AFK. Go ahead.
I think optics is a big part of it too. Like I have this is just my conspiracy or whatever, but I feel, I mean, I don't know, it feels obvious to me, but the whole, you have Ezra Miller, who is, obviously like LGBT, and then you have I won't say her name here, and, she is clearly, what's the believe her hashtag?
Which the
MET00.
Yeah.
So you have these two things that have been injected into your movies, right? Like these two actors.
In general.
Yeah. And so optically, you can't really just kick whoever these characters are out of your stuff because they fit into those little check boxes, which makes it very difficult. Almost think of it like a union, where you can't really fire these people right off the bat because it'll just look horrible. And so I feel like for Ezra, the first time he had that issue with the fan, they tried to sweep it under the rug and stay with the optics on public side, for the public, that he looks perfectly normal. Because if you asked any Joe Schmo on the street, they wouldn't know about what happened with him and that one fan. And I think that, they were hoping with and there's documentation of the WB saying, don't bring us up, where they didn't want to get mucked up. And now that they've been mucked up, their optics are bad again. Yeah. And so it's they tried to hedge their bets on two horses that just led them amok. And then they tried to double down on it because out in the surface, it still looks nice and shiny. But now, because of these, the recent things that are happening, especially to Ezra, they have nowhere to go but admit that they're standing in the middle of a pile of crap.
It's
go ahead. Sorry. No, it's just I want to say and agree with AFK 100%. This is why Zaslav is important, because you are not going to maintain people that are that cruddy. If you want to have people consume your properties. After the arrest, the reports around Ezra Miller's onset and I don't think people realize the police had been to his residence or where he was 10 times or more. Those numbers are not baloney. That stuff's been out there for a while. And the rumor is that Ezra Miller recently arrested in Hawaii, and there's a rumor that Warner Brothers wants to dump them from their franchises. And you know what? It's not a rumor. Monkey Jeebus says if it's that big and it's being covered by that many sources, it's not bologna sausage.
With how I see it,
but why can't they? Why can't they do that? Why can't they just fire him? Or yes, they'll get attacked on Twitter, but still, they would solve the problem.
Twitter's
But
not real life.
I'm pretty sure it's deeper than that, right?
And it's
Yeah.
deeper. I think it's more complicated and it's deeper than that. And it's kind of what, AFK is saying. It's, it's probably bad optics, and it's probably Ezra's got some, and it's probably Ezra's like a liability in a way.
Okay. So if that's the case, then the whole of the company, if they want their company to be better, they should deal with that.
Well, and
this deeper stuff. They should deal with that rather than replacing people and stuff. Figure out why the foundation is rotten in the first place, and try and focus on that. Right?
It's true. It's true. And that's what Vertical Horizons is saying here. You can't sweep that kind of crazy under the rug. You just can't. It keeps popping up. It's like you can't play whack-a-mole that fast.
No, it's like and it's kind of what AFK was saying. It's like you have a fountain or a faucet that's like you have so much gunk that's like building up, and you try to put the cork into it. But in the case of what AFK was saying with AH and Ezra Miller, those coming out to light, and AH bringing Warner Brothers into the trial for this, they can't corporate because that gunk just blows out of the fountain. You know what I mean? It just blows it right out, and now everybody is seeing it. It's now in the public eye. And what and it's putting Warner Brothers in this predicament, and it's like, okay, what can we do? What can we do? And it's kind of similar to what you're seeing with Disney in that sense. It's like, what can they do?
Yeah, they never should have bent the knee at Disney, and we'll get into that conversation towards the end. I imagine we have so much to cover today, but this Ezra Miller thing is really going to cause a problem. An emergency meeting. They're talking about cutting him. They're talking about bringing in Grant Gustin. You've got fans behind that idea. A source, this is from IGN, saying a source has rebuked the original report from Rolling Stone telling IGN that no such emergency meeting took place and dismissing it as a claim of exaggeration, except that it's not true because we were able to confirm it by multiple people who were involved in said meeting. So, again, they are not happy at all.
Are they allowed to have, when they have meetings, casino? Do you think these people are in the meetings? Sorry.
No, I was just going to preempt what you're going to ask. They have NDAs. They're supposed to be, and certain conversations are supposed to be held in confidence. But there are certain things that you do a targeted leak of. You do a targeted leak to a trusted person that you won't get blowback from because somebody tells you to. That happens all the time. I mean, one of the things we get, like when the first Chapek memo that came out, the 3 pillars of rope that he's literally using to wrap around his neck right now. That particular memo was strategically leaked. It would have leaked anyway, but somebody got it out there right away. And that stuff happens all the time. That's just corporate politics. It doesn't matter what agreement or not.
Do you think they're scared to, so say have a big meeting, right, and they're trying to deal with this Ezra Miller stuff? Do you reckon that some of them are scared to say something in that meeting?
Everybody is.
Then how can you achieve anything if everybody's scared to say what's on their mind? It's absolutely crazy.
Well, maybe they actually should need to go to the extreme, right? Yeah. Like maybe now they should actually push for visibility. Because if they actually push and they can show how crazy these actors are, right? It won't be bad if they get fired publicly, right? Like maybe they were trying to keep them forever. And now that there's no way to hide it, maybe they could be like, well, now they're not going to be able to work with us because of this new thing that we knew nothing about ahead of time.
Right.
I think Ian kind of hits the nail on the head, though. Yeah. It's just like people are too scared to. And I think it's just that it's not that just they're too scared to, is that everybody knows what the right answer is.
Yeah.
They're too afraid to say it because not because it's just like, oh, it's going to,
because the blowback
optics and such, blowback optics, but it's going to hurt them in the long run.
Nah, not necessarily. Again, here's the thing: trying to take this game mainstream has been cause of all kinds of trouble for corporations. They never should have leaned into this stuff. And believe me, some of them are learning a very valuable but very expensive lesson. And Disney is no different. But in this case, Warner is going to do the right thing. I have a strong feeling that we're going to see some things happen with Ezra. Ezra's Flash is is something that not a lot of people have been in love with from the very beginning, but here you're seeing, but contrary to what Ian said, and I agree with him, and I even reinforced it, you're starting to see people react. I mean, Drunk 3PO and many other places are covering this stuff. Drew Hernandez was on site, shooting video of a protest that the mainstream media is not covering. They won't cover both sides of the thing. Right now, you have employees at Disney that are terrified to even speak up, and that is slowly changing because we now have protests. We now have employees starting to come forward and talk about this stuff and everything else. So we're going to start seeing this more regularly, and it's going to continue to be a problem for Disney until they turn it off. They are in charge of their own destiny here. They have to stop.
Yeah. Another thing, right? I'd just like to say this so that everybody can hear this. Okay. I thought that, your channel and Gary's channel and everybody else's channel, I thought it was, people listen to it. Yeah, Gary gets 1,000, whatever, and stuff like that. And it's just people. I was on a film directing a movie a couple of weeks ago. And I came on set and there's all these young kids and, I'm a lot older. And one of them said to me, "Oh, you're the Mega Geek." And I went, "Oh." And he went, "Oh, yeah, I saw you on Gary's channel." And then everybody was like, "Yeah, Gary's channel." And they knew Gary. They knew the drinker. They even knew you, Culture.
Wow.
And it really surprised me. It really surprised me. And so what it actually put into my mind is that we are reaching people that we never thought that you'd be surprised. They were all like, "Oh, God, yeah, you're the Mega Geek." I'm like, "What?" Do you know what I mean? So that's really surprising. Don't you think that's surprising? I thought it was surprising. I thought it was just a niche thing. We were just a niche thing.
Well, no. I found out my high school friend, like I met up with him like a year ago, found out that he's a person who watches Friday Night Tights. Completely out of the field. I was not expecting that. And we talked about gaming, geeks and gamers and all of that for like the next 2 hours. It was crazy.
Same thing with me. On back when I used to be on Instagram, I was in an artist group with a bunch of friends. And when I talked to one of my friends, Northern, even brought him on for one of the first guests we had, to find out that he has been, he and another friend of mine, Jampa, they have been watching channels like, EVS, like Geeks and Gamers, like the whole time. Like it's just like you never realize that, you never realize who actually is watching. You never realize who you're actually influencing or who you're actually, who you're reaching out to, because the moment you're reaching out to normies, that changes everything. And then people start, and then when people sound off, is like, "Oh yeah," it's like you speak to a normal person, it's like, "Yeah, I heard about this." Like, "How'd you hear about this?" And I told them I watched Gary, or I watched Culture Casino. I watched this guy called Culture Casino, or I watched this guy called Gary Neurotic and such like that for Geeks and Gamers. It's just like, it's like an eye opening. It's like, holy shit! It's like you're actually reaching out to normies, to normal people who
I didn't realize
stuck on the internet. But here's
a problem with what you're saying, because we have recognized it. I have been recognized before. It's weird. It's very strange.
Yeah. Same
got shout out by Tim Cat.
It's
Tim
that
Pool,
fabulous hair. It's the hair.
Shout out by Tim Pool. Okay.
Yeah. But it's very strange. Because it doesn't seem to jive with my audience numbers, right? I'm not a huge channel yet. Just barely over 3,100, almost 3,200 subs, right? I know I get a lot of video hits sometimes, well beyond what I probably should, and all of that. But it somehow something doesn't jive with those numbers. But we know we have reach, because if you go anywhere, if you're hanging out with Gary or anybody like in Vegas, we got approached in various places. We got approached in casinos. We got approached in other places, and these weren't people that were going to the event. They just happened to recognize everybody. It was very strange.
There are a lot of people who will watch your stuff that don't have, they're not subscribed, or, they don't have their own, membership. They're not signed up. So I think that is a huge part of it too, is like, there are probably many people who watch you and Friday Night Tights, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. And it's just, through whatever, because, there's a lot of people who don't want to have Google. So let's just be honest too. So
it's very strange, and I don't blame them for that, to be honest with you. I know a lot of people watch without being signed into an account.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how any of that tracks, but
but the whole point I was trying to make was that I was surprised of the reach that
it's
people's
amazing.
channels had to people that I didn't even know. I actually thought we were in a bubble, all of us, but apparently not. Apparently,
Well, we're
we
not in a
reached.
bubble. We're the mainstream. The chat's on fire with it, to be honest with you. You've got, I mean, look, I swear there's nobody that wouldn't know who Tom was, right? Because of Midnight's Edge. Nobody that wouldn't know who Gary is. Nobody who wouldn't know who Jeremy is. Jeremy the Courting, even. Tim Pool now. Think about how many millions of people and how many people we know that have been on Tim's show. I mean, and it's, you go on there, you talk about the news of the day. People are waking up. They're discarding mainstream. They've been doing it for a long time. It's not news. And I think this is true. TZ Burton, I think numbers are suppressed.
It is. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah. I think it is like Dan's channel, right? He gets a lot of people watching, yet his subscribe. Yeah, so his subscribe numbers don't go up. But yet he gets, more than people watching his show, and it's really weird. I think something's happening. I think I don't know if it's this channel or something's happening. They're suppressing everything. It's crazy.
I think it's just kind of a general thing that we see all the times, and it's stuff that culture always brings up at the end of every single video. So why support independent creators? Because YouTube is catering February. This platform is catering heavily to the mainstream corporate backed
and I agree with you. And you have Rob Alta saying we're making a difference, and you know what, I'd like to believe that's true. Like I said, it's gratifying. I know I say it on the videos, and I even talk about it in live streams. Engagement's important. It's why I'm always like engaging with the chat if I can, highlighting comments and everything else that support the conversation. First of all, we're having a back and forth conversation here in real time, but the audience is involved too. And they're really incredibly important. And that's why when people are making memes, when people are, involved in the chat, it's another form of communication and participation, which it's reflecting back, whether or not you believe it or not, but it's this beautiful give and take. I think you can only do on YouTube, which is why linear television is going to croak. It's why they can't be more creative to draw more audience now on linear television or even streaming shows, because you're more engaged with the day-to-day stuff and the conversations that we used to have sitting in a pub, right, Ian?
That's right.
Talk about, and there was a game on, or like a trailer comes out, and you would start talking with a complete stranger about
absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So it's just, it is what it is.
There used to be a pub in Victoria, and it was called the Star Trek Bar. And before the internet and stuff like that, it was called a Star Trek Bar, and that's where all the Star Trek people went to drink and stuff. And I remember I had an argument with this guy about Voyager, and I didn't know him, and we had an argument, and and then we left at bad terms. Then when I went back a couple of weeks ago to the same pub to meet my friends, the same guy I had an argument with said, "Hey Ian, how's it going?" He goes, "Let me buy you a drink." Do you know what I mean? And that's fandom. To me, that's fandom, right?
This is the other beautiful thing. I disagree with people all the time on panels. Sometimes I'm the voice in the wilderness, right? It happens, and it's okay. And that doesn't change my status with the people I'm interacting with. It doesn't change my relationship, my feelings about them, or anything else. I like different opinions. If you're not there, if you're not willing to accept other opinions, you'll never learn anything. There's no opportunity.
And right? That's why you appreciate people who are in our chats who have that mindset, like Thomas Gilkey, who always pushes that mindset, and that's something that people need to learn, that people need to appreciate more of.
Plus, you've got to open your mind and listen to the other person, because you might learn something from that other person. It doesn't matter if their opinion's completely the opposite to yours, but you have to listen, because that's what life's all about. It's about learning and enjoying. Right?
I actually, since he's on the thumbnail, I'll start talking about him. His name's Elon Musk, and I educated some people the other day who had no idea, had a different opinion of Elon Musk, because they thought the guy, was this, living differently than a lot of people. And then I informed them. I said, look, he sold most of his real estate holdings. I think he only has one other place now. He's currently living on site at his Giga, Texas location in a $50,000 pre-manufactured home. That's where this lives. And people just can't connect with that, right? And he's constantly he's again, say what you will, he's all about profit 100%, as he should be. But at the same time, what he's doing isn't evil. And, there used to be a corporation that almost everybody in the globe is involved with now that had a slogan that said, "Don't be evil."
And I think in the case is that, you could be about profits,
Right.
but at the same time, you understand, and I think is with Musk, and I think because other people understand, is that the big part of why the profits happen is because of the people.
I think
the people make the profit, and that they do cater, that they will make sure that they do cater to the people's needs, to the people, what the people wants, so they can continue making the profit.
I think he said that the goal is not obviously to make money, but that's not the goal. The goal is to achieve stuff, and making money makes it happen. Yeah. So that's the way he sees it. He doesn't see it about making $1 billion and another $1 billion. That's not the goal. The money's not the goal. The money is just there to facilitate what he wants to achieve. And that's a good way of looking at it, I guess.
And I stick with this good way of the best way to make money is to make it good. Just make good. People want good shit. But yeah, people want good shit. People just want good shit.
Ian.
Hey, how you doing, mate? All right.
Long time no see. How you doing?
Yeah, all right, mate. All right. Yeah.
What are you guys talking about?
I don't know. Ask Casino.
That's culture.
This show's been great, and I'm glad you could pop in, Stephen. We were about to go into your favorite subject matter.
Idiots?
Well, yeah, or at least one primarily. But we were talking about like how much reach we had. I didn't realize the reach because Ian was talking about it just a few moments ago. Yeah, and a lot of people saying that the numbers are manipulated and all of that. And I can't speak to that directly, other than it is what it is. But I know that we're about to lose AFK. Unfortunately, AFK. Anything you want to say at the door?
All of you are awesome, and I'm gonna be going to see Sonic very shortly, so I will give them my view.
All right.
And so thanks for letting me hang out, and I'm sorry I'm gonna miss the rest of you. And hello, Stephen.
Are you abandoning me? Is this something I ate?
Well,
Wow.
We should catch up soon.
Totally.
Do something.
We need to do a stream with Miss Martin again. We need to
we do
that. Totally.
Grab Xevious and everybody and just kind of shoot the
good old days. All right, well, carry on.
Enjoy the movie. Let us know what
you think. See you later.
Will do. Ciao.
Love you.
Bye.
Much love.
What are we talking about? My favorite thing? What is that?
No, we'll get there. Matt Vader popped in. Good to see you, my friend. He's on a pretty popular podcast with another Matt that you might have heard of, Kadish, and
those muscles are a lie.
They do some good stuff over there. I appreciate that. There's our good friend Rupert Christopher Haynes. Good to see you, my friend. I'm aware of an announcement that's being made today, and I'm very concerned for you. So please, let me in on what's going on. If you could join the Gilded, because it seems like that's where I'm at more often. I do have a Gilded server. Six has been promoting it in the chat. Thank you, Six. It's good to see all of you that dropped in later. If you haven't hit the like button, please do so. But we'll see. And Forbidden Ruin says the following: I do not expect major change from Twitter because of Musk. He wants to make sure he's not banned. Well, first of all, he's not going to get banned. I think that would immediately cancel the agreement that he signed. But we'll definitely have to see. Roof Korean, you didn't miss the show. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. But I have a feeling that Elon will do good things if he can get advertisements off the platform like he suggests in favor of subscriptions. I think that might actually work, but I'm not sure. So,
but at least he's trying.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, Stephen, we're going to get on to this next subject. I think you're going to enjoy it.
Why does this sound like I'm being set up for like an intervention?
You're not. I'm not going to talk to you about any kind of substance abuse, but maybe to people who have had substance abuse.
Substance.
Well, it kind of is. But here's some people who definitely were involved in substance abuse. Here we go. This thing is about to kick off, kids. We're finally going to
Oh,
get this out of our hair.
is that the woman that has the irritable bowel syndrome when she gets close to Bed Bath and Beyond?
Apparently so.
Okay, good.
Apparently so. Hey, Purple. But yeah, we've got an interesting thing. This case is finally going to get underway. It's set for April 11th, so it's in just a few days, and that's unfortunately not going to be. I'm not in that Virginia,
It's
so
tomorrow.
I won't be.
It's
I won't
tomorrow.
be. Yeah, I won't be on the jury there, but I may be on the grand jury in a week. I don't know. We'll see.
Is it being publicly broadcasted? Because
I don't know.
So from what I know is that I know, of course, Tug and Yelp wants to cover it. Nick Rekieta is going to try to cover especially if it's a public broadcast. I'm not sure about that, but Nick Rekieta is definitely going to cover it.
Yeah,
it is receiving live coverage television. It's being covered by Court TV, also streaming online. So this is going to be live. I have this as of I think 2 days ago.
Oh, I am so excited.
Court cases that are as high profile as this one. Yeah. So it looks like yep. The only problem you'll probably have is if Court TV is going to be a dick about it.
Well, I don't know. If you stick with fair use, you could definitely you can definitely navigate around that, especially if you're not broadcasting their audio. Matt Vader of the Salty Nerd podcast. I wonder if you guys are going to talk about this at all. I'm curious. I'm gonna have to check in on that.
It's kind of incidental though, because there's also that post that's going around where she's, I'm gonna be off social media for a while.
I know.
Why? You building a fort? Are you pulling
why? You know why?
Oh, you know why?
She can't say anything that's going to end up in this case. Her attorneys probably said, we are going to take away your Twitter. But let's read real quickly. We'll just get it down out of the way. The case is set to go to trial on the 11th. It's tomorrow in Fairfax County, Virginia. Both sides have at least partially staked their careers and reputations on 12 jurors who will assess their credibility. Well, Amber doesn't have much right now.
She does.
So in December 2018, at the height of the #MeAlso movement, the lady that defecates on beds published an op-ed in the Washington Post that was actually written by the ACLU. More on that later, calling out societal norms that prop up bad behavior amongst people involved in partnerships and knock down their victims. She rehashed the column claims she made 2 years earlier about enduring extensive bad behavior earlier in life, implying that her ex-husband, JD, the pirate guy, did bad things to her without explicitly naming him, which you can't do.
It rhymes with life in Walmart greeter.
There you go. Yeah, that's right. Chaos ensued. Disney dropped Depp from leading role as Captain Jack Sparrow in the multi-billion-dollar Pirates of the Caribbean franchise just 4 days after the op-ed ran. Definitely career harm. Depp sued her for $50 million 2 months later, accusing her of defaming him by describing herself as a bad behavior survivor. This was followed by a lady who poops on beds filing a $100 million counterclaim alleging that Pirate Guy had coordinated a campaign aimed at smearing her. The case is now set to go to trial. Obviously, we know 12 jurors are going to assess their credibility in what's essentially a he said, she said, in particular for Depp, the last chance in court to vindicate himself as he claims he's being boycotted by Hollywood, which is true, over what he's called a hoax orchestrated by his ex-wife.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Turn quickly. Sorry, I don't mean to do this, but isn't this going to be hard to be finding a jury that does not have a bias or any type of that can be credible, especially with all the YouTube and other stuff going out there in social media for the last few years? Isn't it going to be very hard to even you'd have to go to a place where there's no internet and try to find people that, you know what I mean? Because there already is a public opinion, and it's been a battle when we see when it comes to Tug or Yellow Flash or Rob or anyone who covers this stuff and the Depp stuff, and how much there's been hostile at their channels and hostile. You know what I mean? There's it's gonna be very hard to find a jury that's not going to try to sway.
Yeah. This thing. I mean, if you look at this, Mad Mama Bear. She does great art, by the way. Latest doll was beautiful. Saw it on social media. It was excellent. First court case to be sponsored by Depends and Pepto Bismol, probably. Will definitely be content gold. There's no doubt about that. This is a strong take. Taking away social media may fix a lot of mental issues for any person. 100, especially if you're not getting dopamine hits from just getting a like.
Yeah.
And actually engaging with somebody. It doesn't cost anybody to hit the heart button. They're not really engaged with what you're saying, probably.
It might also have an alternate effect as well at the same time, because you don't know what's going on in the real world, and that is your outlet to social media. And like, let's say you're fixing your ego, not even just your ego, but your mentality. It could also go an opposite way, not be good for you. It can be worse depending on the persona in general, right?
Possibly, yeah. I mean, especially if you're not getting that daily libs of TikTok content. But
oh my God.
Jeebus says Elon Musk thinking bigger than people realize. I agree. The minute the case starts, she knows she can't use it to round up the cult. Oh wow, like she did for the UK case. Absolutely, she's going to be toasty. TZ Burton has a low opinion of lady who poops in beds. Trav 101, yes, she did really poop in the bed.
She's the poopinator, yes.
Yeah. Mr. Depp surely added plastic protection to save the next mattress. Yes. What's up? Toby Moss says she's like Kathleen Turner with none of the class. This is true.
But
Kathleen
she has
amazing.
But she has a great way to come out of this after whatever happens. She can open up her own makeup brand called Me Also. Makeup to hide fake bruises. I mean, make fake bruises.
Yeah, and Blue-Eyed Roof Korean is giving me another suggestion for alternate words for poop. Defecate, definitely. And let's see. Oh, Nerdette's Newsstand. Yeah, I know. Not a fan of lady who poops in the bed. A big fan of the pirate guy. True statement. True statement.
She's been covering it too.
Joker Voice is making it well known that you can actually buy a Amber Turd custom T-shirt from Mixed Tees. I would encourage you to get that before it goes away. Ruben Christopher Haynes, I need help and intervention. I want a lady who defecates in bed.
Just say Amturd. It's like an airline. Amturd.
Oh, I love you, Ruben. God love you, sir. Really ask JD how his fingers are, because of what I have heard, he does not have 100% of his appendages.
Well, his thumb, I think, right? Because I was cut off from the.
They got an ouchie. He did get an ouchie.
Big ouchie.
Monkey Jeebus says, I don't even care about this lady. I don't know. I don't know her, so it's not my problem. Well, there you go, Monkey Jeebus. Solid. The Pirates ride is undergoing a long refurbishment over the next few months. This is true, Jasper
plastic sheets everywhere.
Yeah, just like Splash Mountain.
How likely is that Disney is sponging him from the ride ahead of the case? Don't know.
Highly likely.
What are they going to do for the next film then? Is it going to be all women or something like that?
Yeah, it's going to be Margot Robbie taking over the role.
I'm going to hit the pause. I'm going to hit the pause button on some of this. Because there's nothing laid 100%. I think Monkey Jeebus and a few others probably know that there's we'll see what happens with the next film. You're right. Margot Robbie has been cast in the role. The story's kind of outlined. But as far as I know, we're not even close to principal, but we'll see. Matt Vader's here says, we don't cover this stuff, Culture. Doubt we talk about it much. Maybe in some pre-show. Okay, all right. Yeah, I didn't figure. I was hoping maybe you guys would dive into it. I like the way that you guys do things, and I like the show about the crypto stuff was interesting.
I do have an idea for Vader, though. They can still use this and compare the writing in the court compared to the writing in Star Trek, and then see which one has better writing.
Wow, that's funny. Executive producer Sol Leibowitz is someone who's been involved with jury trials. You'd be surprised at what most jurors don't know. I know it's amazing to me. I'm going to have this weird thing, right? Because when I go in to be, interviewed as a potential juror for this thing, once I tell them everything that I do, they're going to be like, "Get out of here."
You're hoping?
No. I have opinions on stuff.
No, what you do is you answer all their questions, but you wear a shirt that says "I hate Johnny Depp" and see how it goes.
Oh yeah, see that works.
Just throw their brains off. I'm reading this, but they're saying something else.
Yeah, I'm not getting on this. This jury's already selected, but I'm not getting anywhere near this. There's a grand jury in my local area that I'm trying not to be on, but we'll see what happens. So is this trial more of a cultural moment, just two big stars duking it out in public, or is the last gap of the Me Also movement? I agree with you. I think it's the second. I
say that, and I think it's, as Gelflash pointed out in one of his recent videos, is that it is a possible stand up for men's issues, because
it is.
Men do suffer this kind of
getting bashed all the time.
Bad behavior. Yeah, men do. So this might be the case.
You can't even hold the door open without being called a misogynist.
Well,
yeah.
It's a war against masculinity, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's why I shut it on them.
But
chivalry is long gone.
But all I say is, hey, that's not fair. I didn't even offer you a massage. So anyway, $2 says this trial will be a real show. Yeah. Oh, no worries, Ian. You do your thing. Yeah, for $2, I agree with that 100%. Amber should go into special effects makeup. Yeah, I know. Breakdown on that has been nuts.
See, that's weird. Do you think that the Elon investing in Twitter has a coalition? I can't ever get that right word.
Correlation
with the trial that's actually coming up for Twitter, and maybe he's like on the gun going.
I don't know. I don't know, but like I said, we'll have to see. And this is a great question from Victor Fontaine. Does anybody remember Amber getting arrested for assaulting her ex-wife back in 2009? I have seen that brought up multiple times.
Yeah, that's been brought up many times.
Yeah, she has a history.
Most of them do.
Yeah. Which one of Johnny Depp's fingers was cut? I don't remember. I thought it was
his thumb.
Was it his thumb? Yikes.
I thought it was the tip of his thumb that was gone.
Okay, I believe you. Yikes.
He keeps a keepsake somewhere, I think.
I know that she's been rumored to be involved in the Project Joker voice. I haven't looked at anything.
Isn't she another project coming out too?
Forbidden Ruin, it'll be yeasty. No. Your wife has jury duty tomorrow. Oh, I'm sorry, Anonymous. Yeah.
Have you never heard of Davy Jones' rag?
Hey, you know what? Ruben Christopher Haynes, I do keep opening the door.
Yeah, I even pull out the chair.
I still do. I
fall in their ass.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah, I'm glad you were able to grab that. No worries. Let's see. Now try today correlation horror show. Oh, now try to say. That's what just
correlation horror show.
Correlation without causation.
All right. Yeah, Karen Gillian is smoking.
She is.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. So TZ Burton says her ex or his ex. Her ex. She was married to a woman before.
Mm-hmm. Oh God.
She likes both sides of the pronouns.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was the pointer. I thought it was the index. But
it might be the index. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't know.
As long as it isn't the middle one, he should be happy.
Yeah, it's very strange. Max, relax. Got to open the door so she can move through with the luggage. Max. Middle finger was sliced. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, what's the middle? All right.
Oh God.
I've seen Pirates of the Caribbean 5 earlier. It was called Pirates of the Last Royal Treasure. Yeah, she is equal opportunity for sure. But look, it's one of these things, right? And it's funny because it's content for us, right? But there's something even worse on the horizon, folks. Do you know what it is?
Oh God, please don't tell me about Captain Marvel with Vin Diesel. Please don't go there.
Oh no!
Brie Larson.
Oh, get her off the screen, man! I
just stop.
My sex drive is now pineapple on pizza.
Listen, all you have to do is put a picture of her feet up, and then everybody will start.
I'll get the bathing suit picture out.
But you know what, right? She's well within the fold of Hollywood. Of course, they're going to give her work, and this is what's happening, really. I mean, she's not particularly talented. Let's face it. And she really has to. For us, she's wrecked her career by saying all that stuff that she said. So,
I just don't. Unless she, what I don't understand. What is she? What is her role?
She's going to play what's his name's brother or something.
Don't you dare! Don't you dare!
Okay. No, she wouldn't be the sister.
It's all about family, guys. Just remember that. So
that's what I'm afraid is that she's going to be related to Brian O'Connor. Character.
Oh wait, Chester Roanoke says something worse. Amy Schumer.
They need something funny.
Well, wow, boy,
What
do
car
they.
is she gonna drive? That's the
I
question.
don't know, but
Smart car.
Just
Yeah.
don't have shots of her wearing sandals and pushing the brake with her feet.
I
Otherwise,
think she's gonna get a blue
give her the
Prius.
400D.
She's gonna
Give
drive
her
a
the
blue
400C like she did.
Oh
in
yeah,
the
that'd be
commercial.
great. That'd be brilliant though, Culture. Imagine that, or electrical car, right? Where the whole
Yeah.
movie she's just charging it while everyone else is going through the whole
Is
movie,
doing
the whole
stuff.
plot. Yeah,
Yeah. Then you know what? Then I would approve. But Blue-Eyed Roof Curry in the base for $2 says avoid grand jury. Step 1. Ask about nullification. No kidding. They're gonna be like, what? Yeah, yeah, I know. Everybody's like, this is funny. Yeah, it's dead now for sure. Yeah, it's all.
the last one made money, right? The last
has.
Fast and
Yeah,
Furious.
of course. Yeah,
It
but
has. It always makes money.
here's the weird thing: they've always relied on China, especially the last 5 films. The last 5 films needed China money.
Yes.
And so if they put her in this and they step deeply into identitarian, agenda-driven garbage stuff, this thing's deader than disco.
It will.
Yeah, their game
Because it
blew
will.
though. Their game blew, and it has a 35% on Metacritic, and that came out in 2020, and that was supposed to be a Fast and Furious game. So
Crossroads.
yeah.
So here's the thing.
I thought it was Crossroads.
No, yeah, you're that too. But Crossroads is so bad that it's basically being delisted. When the best Fast and the Furious game comes from the DreamWorks Netflix cartoon spinoff,
oh god,
that's a bad sign.
It
and my
is.
stance on this, as someone who has watched every film up until 7, that's where it should end.
I tapped out. I tapped out at 8, so I understand where you're coming from. But Ruben Christopher Haynes says, "Help! I love Brie Larson. Help!"
You know what this means, though? There's a lot of content creators out there that are going to love this. Quartering will get a new addition to his shed. Jeremy will make 10 more videos a day, and all the people on Twitter are going to complain about it. So it's a win-win.
The last film was absolutely bollocks, wasn't it? I mean, it really was.
It goes. Here's the thing. It starting from the 5th movie. And I'm saying this, from the 5th movie and onwards, the moment that they're dragging a freaking bank vault across the streets of Rio de Janeiro, they break physics. By the time you get to the 10th film, they should be up in space.
They were.
Yeah, that happened. But you know, look, Fast 5 I thought was kind of fun. It was not
Fast
realistic
5
in
is fun.
any way.
No, it's unreal. No, if you turn your brain off, Fast 5 is a lot of fun.
Which one did they fight the aliens with the light? Was that Fast 9 or 10?
I think that might have been. I can't remember.
That's coming.
Wait, that's
basically it's basically the Avengers at this point.
That's Pitch Black. My bad.
Yeah, it's just like it's a funny thing I bring up because I
don't shake your head at me.
I find the first Fast and the Furious to me is the most quotable film for me. I have quoted every single line for that film. It is just and it's memorable because I remember Vin Diesel having more lines in the first film than he has in every subsequent film.
By the way, a wild Tom Connors has appeared.
Hello, Tom.
Hi, Tom.
Like,
sorry.
Go ahead.
The question was asking, what's the plot of Fast and the Furious 10? Is it to find a better script for Bloodshot?
I don't know.
Better. I don't know. It's going to be something ridiculous. It's going to be something over the top ridiculous. You're going to try to bring in every single character possible. For example, Dwayne Johnson backed out. The end of 9 basically hinted that we might see Brian come back, although I don't know if they're going to do it. This is the thing that made me turn off immediately. If they have to bring in one of his brothers, such as Cody, to fill in for his role, which I wasn't a fan of in Furious 7, and that's what kind of turned me off here, because Brian, to me, Paul Walker's character, he was basically the avatar for the audience.
Yeah. Tom, how you doing, bud?
I don't watch this Fast and Furious shit.
Yeah, but doesn't your kid likes it though, right?
Yeah, and I mean, I feel sorry for those people who are now, who are fans and now got to worry about Brie Larson mucking up their franchise. But
it was one of the very things that Fast and Furious came out at the perfect time. It came out at the time that, and it helped popularize the import tuner scene. It helped popularize car culture. in general when it was more about the cars, when it was more about street racing, and then it just kind of dropped it after Tokyo Drift. Tokyo Drift is still one of the most popular ones too.
I get it. It's car porn, and it's funny because that was the one that almost went straight to video and killed the franchise. But no, I get it. It's car porn, and it translates easily into other languages. It's
dumb entertainment. That's what
exactly.
it is.
Yeah, it's very
it's the definition of it.
I watched part of the first movie, and I just wasn't all that impressed. So I get it. It is what it is. You know.
Just think that we have a high opportunity to see Brie Larson in a bikini coming out of the water.
God.
In a jet ski race scene.
Why did you give me that?
Why do you give me that?
Would you rather see Fast Furious 10? We're not using cars, just unicycles.
No, they're gonna use.
No, at this point they should be on,
too old to use scooters.
They should be flying space cars by this one.
Oh, you mean like Starfighter retransform? Yeah.
Oh man, this look, E. Clay Thomason's right. I did bury the lead. The real tragedy is they're having an F and F10.
Well, I think that's inevitable.
It's inevitable, and then Dwayne Johnson doesn't want to come back for another.
I mean, there's at least a life of what, like 5 or 6 straight to streaming movies left in this franchise after it loses the
then you have
characters.
Then you have the Netflix kids cartoon Spy Racers
on top of it,
on its 6th season. So,
wow, Mama Bear's like, I call Photoshop on this picture. Everybody knows she doesn't smile.
Hey! If you got nothing nice to say, keep your comments to yourself, okay?
You know what? I used to really like. I liked her before she became Captain Marvel. I saw her in that film that she won an Oscar for, and I thought she was, a really good actress. And then suddenly, she does this part, and I totally went off her.
I loved her in Scott Pilgrim because she played
Ramona Flowers.
No, she played Envy Adams. She played Envy Adams.
Ramona Flowers.
Ramona Flowers.
You're not breaking my delusion. No, I don't.
No, that was Mary
you're not breaking my
Winstead.
delusion. No.
Dude, that was Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
I know who it was. I'm literally just saying I'd rather just not.
I hated her in Room. I was like, the only reason she won that Oscar in Room is because that kid was good.
I don't know. I thought she was good in that film.
I didn't think she did anything that was that great.
The chat's on fire, you guys. We've got like
Congo.
Yeah, we've got Congo in here. We've got expect them to have submarines and fight for Kraken treasure.
No, they did that in 7.
Yeah, they did it. They did it.
All right, Blue-Eyed Ripcurry in the base for $2 says she's being brought on to finally kill the franchise. I think so, and I think she's going to succeed.
Honestly, I see this as a good sign for MCU fans that she's signing on to something like this because that means she ain't got nothing coming up.
Well, it's not good for MCU fans because everything they do now is actually woke. So, it's not gonna.
No,
it's not gonna help.
Here we go. Hollywood wanted, thanks, Cleanser. Hollywood wanted their IPs to be the draw, not the actors. They got it, and let me tell you, the IPs have suffered.
Like
and
I
so
said,
the
like I
actors.
said, Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay. I'm just trying to figure this picture out because I've never seen such a soulless thing smile so much.
Wow, rough, bro, rough.
It might be CGI, Steven.
I know.
The soul or the smile?
For $2, TZ Burton hits us with Fast and Furious 10, the foot race.
Oh.
Well, sooner or later they're going to be old enough to do it on those old people scooters.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Awesome.
Do it in scooters. Vin
Walmart
Diesel looking
edition.
like it.
Yeah, Vin's
Get
getting
the fuck out of my way! I need milk.
Vin's getting a little older, and I think
Furious.
she
like,
was.
you look back at the first film. You look at and like I said, the first film, he had more dialogue in the first film than he did in subsequent films, and he looked younger and much more full of energy and personality. Like you look at Dom back then to compare to Dom now, it's completely different.
Well, all I know is this: you have Ruben Christopher Haynes saying the obvious. Now, Mary Elizabeth Winstead trumps Brie and Amber. Absolutely, sir.
Well, here's the thing: I would have much rather seen Dom DeLuise in those movies.
Wow. Like because of Cannonball Run. God, what a great!
I don't care. Just like, yeah, we need to beat the cops. The cops are coming. We need to drive faster.
How faster?
Faster.
She signed a 5-picture deal with Marvel after the Marvel. She still has 2 films left, says Joe.
Well, they can just put her in the background of every other film. That's the way to do it, I reckon. Not have her say anything, just in the background.
I have somewhere to go, just like an Endgame. Just like
yeah.
Hey, Mock, I know you're doing Mocky live. Did you push it back?
Yeah, I pushed it back to 1 because we were really into this conversation.
Because we're cooking. That's what I am.
Yeah, we were cooking. Yeah, I was like,
I guess I missed most of the show then, evidently. It looks like.
Yeah, well, you're in the chat
merger,
group, Tom. You're in the group.
I don't pay attention to DM
Should I
chat
call you?
group
He
thingies.
said that
I'm gonna
last
start
week
calling.
too. He doesn't pay attention.
Do you know how many chat groups I'm in, man?
Yeah, a lot. By the way, I think Monkey Jeebus is correct. Fat and Furious needs Cecil.
I turned my phone off like 2 years ago and I have not turned the volume back on since.
Good for you, bro.
that's good.
I just can't. It goes ding, ding, ping, ping, bong, bong all day long.
That's not good.
You're a very popular chap.
Oh, yeah, especially if I post something like the first image from Disney's Snow White.
Oh God.
You made friends. You made friends.
I
Well,
got friends.
Anyway, so it seems like we got as much mileage out of this as we possibly could because this is going to be the car
Not
crash.
as much as the Fast and Furious did out of its franchise.
Uh-huh.
I have a question though. How long until Brie Larson snaps and starts shaving her head like Britney Spears?
Soonish.
Oh, I hope it's
I was
soon.
gonna say shave her head like Katy Perry, but yeah, let's go for that.
Hit me, baby, one more time.
Don't I look pretty?
I did this for you.
My hair's so
It wasn't
pretty.
made for you.
She's gonna be on Mortal Kombat, like against.
Don't you like my butt? I got butt implants for you, people.
Look at me,
You
I
don't like
gotta
my
lean
butt,
over
keep
just
your
so you
opinions to
can see
yourself.
cleavage. Oh my god, YouTube.
What more do you need from me?
I
Oh,
love
dear.
yoga. Please put that paper bag back on my head.
My daddy never loved
Yeah,
me.
exactly. Train to yoga show you have no ass.
There was a
whatsoever.
contract. There was one contract option I had to agree with: the plastic bag over my head when I'm not on set.
She's just jealous that Tom Holland got a better ass than she does.
True.
What?
Not wrong.
Hey, look, all we have to do is ask John Campia. If there's any kind of
Look at the
a
penis.
anyway, TZ Burden for $5 says, shout out to Blue-Eyed Riv Korean the Base, the official sponsor of the Culture Casino stream. All hail the amazing panel. Well, all hail to the chat out there. You guys are incredible. And the wrenches, my wrenches are the best. All of you folks are incredible. Thank you for being here. Tom, I'm glad you joined us to talk about that. Hamdinger's happy because
all the news, evidently.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, we haven't shown any nudes yet.
News.
Oh,
News, culture, news. Get your
Count
mind out of the
Jesus, I
gutter.
can't
Who
with
gives
you.
a shit about Brie Larson? I mean,
She can be the cutest.
Fast and the Furious kayak feet. There you go.
Can we not talk about people's feet? Because every time someone says feet, I picture Megan Fox's toe thumb.
Stop it.
Ew.
Stop it.
Stop,
Snow White,
please.
Snow White
got
and the
toe.
7 cartel members. Yes, that is coming out.
Really?
Yeah. You guys do realize you're looking at her big toe with the smiley drawn on it. Oh my.
Oh God.
Yeah, the new trend is the alopecia look. There you go.
Oh, that's great. Is that before or after the domestic?
I don't know, but we have
I think
Blue
it's
Eyed
after.
Riv in the base for $2 saying, Tom, I invented a show notifier for Sega Mega Drive.
so is that like you get a notification whenever anybody says something about
That's funny.
Sega Mega Drive? Is that what it is?
Yeah, that would be awesome, right?
You say
I don't
what
get
if
what
it's,
it-
what
I
if
don't
it's
know what you mean.
Genesis? Do you still get a notification? Or
What's Genesis?
It's the same
Genesis?
Yeah,
thing.
Genesis.
My computer's down.
All right. Well, I know this-
Genesis was a band in the late 20th century.
I
led
know
by
this.
Phil Collins and originally by Peter Gabriel. What do you want with that?
Well, I like Peter Gabriel was awesome. Just so you know.
That's not Genesis.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
Sonic does what Disney don't.
That's right.
There you
Camp-
go.
That's right. It's all true. It's all true.
Fuck, man. I heard about this meeting and I didn't say nothing about it. I could have fucking
You should have broke it because
fucking people.
Tug broke it. It went wide.
I
Then
didn't believe it.
IGN came back 2 days ago and said that never happened.
Oh,
And
yeah.
they're
IGN's full of
destroyed.
shit. They're running.
And that's
No,
culture.
they
That's
had this
exactly how
meeting.
they sounded.
Yeah.
They had this meeting. I heard about it. I didn't hear about any of the specifics necessarily,
Sure.
but basically, like, yeah, they're taking a break from him. At least I heard they're shit canning him, but it sounds like they're at least taking a break for now, anyway.
Well, Soul Assassin, the Fast and the Furious 10 was the last film anyway, according to everybody that's involved. So
How did that Harry Potter movie fare this weekend?
not
Oh,
great.
Fantastic Beast. Yeah.
Not great.
Yeah.
In the European markets, it's still running well behind Sonic. Sonic is now 71 million in internationally, or 70 million in internationally, which is above the 58 international numbers that came out with Fantastic. Fantastic Beasts comes out on the 15th.
Oh, it ain't out here yet. I thought they were
Yeah.
going up against each other.
No, they don't go head to head till next week, and it'll get destroyed again. But Sonic kicked butt over 71 million, Tom.
That's overall, though. What did it do in the U.S.?
No, that's U.S.
Really? That's what it did in the U.S.?
71 million.
Shit.
I told you it was going to be over 50. I told you the numbers were wrong.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it only did 6 million on its preview night, so I wasn't so sure. I thought my 60, was pretty well on.
No. Yeah, no, they tagged 71 million plus 70 international. So they're
Nice.
already close. They're already close to paying for the film.
I was going to say that should almost put them in the black by now.
Yeah, they're getting there.
It's a good film. It's really good.
I've heard nothing but praise for the damn thing. So.
I can link you it if you need it.
Haven't seen it. I've seen the first one.
What?
The first one was good.
Yeah.
I'm in no hurry to see. I like the first one, but I like we had this conversation earlier. I've never been that big of a Sonic fan, so it's like, it is what it is.
Did you hear about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle collection coming out though on Steam and stuff? With all the original.
Are you talking about the Cowabunga collection? Yeah.
Yeah, the Cowabunga collection. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I think they're doing that to go with that new Shredder game. Yeah.
See, Tom assaulted me last night, and I don't know if you've already been assaulted by this yet, Steven, but assaulted me with the new action figures for the
Thor?
Love and Thunder.
Oh, do you mean?
God,
Yeah, it's the Mighty Morthor Rangers. That's what it is. Yeah,
terrible.
and Gore looks like a cross between the alien from Covenant and the Death from Bogus Adventure.
Yeah.
So these are the toys, right?
They're bad. There's more Thor in that toy line than there is actual anything else. They should have made Korg an actual character and do a build a thing of something else.
Roof Korean Harry Potter and Dr. Day presents Fantastic Beats.
Did you see the side box art and how weird they did the Groot art? It's kind of like a feminine model stand of Groot. It's very, very weird.
Don't you have to collect
everything?
Don't you have to collect all of them to make like the rock guy?
Yeah, and I'm thinking the way it is, I think the way they beat Gore is that somehow they had two Thors from different timelines to come in to kill Gore after his son didn't like the way he was going down this road. And that's how they destroyed Gore. So that's supposed to be the main enemy. This is the God Killer. You got Mighty Thor, which is the female's our favorite. It looks like Thor's toy body on her with her head. It looks really weird the way the chest plate armor lines up. And then we have Ravager Thor, Thor, Mighty Thor, Gore, Groot, and Star-Lord. And I'm like, I'm terrified of this movie. And King Valkyrie. Let's not forget King Valkyrie. Everyone's still confused.
Well, we have about 15 minutes left. I want to dive into the last subject, which we don't have to take a terrible lot of time on because I think I've already gotten your opinions on this. But Disney is still 2.5, almost 3 weeks of mess for their bungling of handling this law. We were talking about it in relation to Warner Brothers at the beginning of the show, but there is a good reason why corporations, especially trying to peddle family entertainment, stay out of politics.
True.
Now, Ian, you're in the UK. We get a bunch of people, visitors from the UK that go to Walt Disney World. Will this affect any of those folks going there or not?
I don't. I don't think the normies really know what's going on, do they? So it won't affect them. Will it?
You don't think so?
No, of course it won't. I mean, my sister's kids are talking about all kinds of nonsense that Twitter has been saying and all this kind of rubbish that's connected to Disney and all that. And I just think that, I'm just sad that all this stuff has been put into schools and stuff like that. So I don't know what to say about it. I just hope it stops soon.
Oh wait, sorry, I pulled this up. Wait a minute, that's funny. Wow,
You thought I was joking.
That's crazy.
Wow.
God.
I'm not joking.
That's ugly as
That's
sin.
Christian Bale's character.
I know. How come it doesn't look anything like Christian Bale? Oh man, this is going to be such a bad movie.
Yeah, it is.
This could be.
They've released the toys before they released a movie.
It's been happening all the time.
Yeah, I'll bring up the other picture of culture one. So yeah, there you go.
But isn't that bad that they released the toys because then it would tell you about the movie?
Pretty much, but I don't. But we already know from what we've seen on set and the stuff going around with the rumors with that, with like the threesome making out stuff, whatever the hell that was, and like it's open love everywhere on the set or whatever.
Anyway, Dave Rubin said gay to Governor DeSantis. Dave is okay. Yeah, you can say gay all the time. That's not the point. That's why that's why they put this tagline on this bill, trying to ring it for something it wasn't. Thanks for the $2 contribution there. Appreciate that, TC.
There is, though, a rumor, though, that I'm actually quite happy about because I played the Destiny franchise. Supposedly, when the biggest DLC, the last DLC for Destiny drops from Bungie, supposedly Chris Pratt is going to be voicing the Ghost, your little dude that talks to you, that revives you, that you pull out all the time to find where your objective is. So Chris Pratt, like what Peter Dinklage used to do in the first Destiny, is going to be doing the voices for the last DLC, which is pretty cool. Chris Pratt's actually getting out there. Yeah, so Star-Lord in my palm.
That's cool.
That's so wrong. I can't believe I said that. Oh
yeah, well, that's all right. Nobody's going to hate you for it. But, this is the weirdest thing. And Trav is 100% right. Chapek got played hard. Never needed to lean into this. And Release McCracken is correct. He says, I think the normies are finding out about this. My father-in-law is a Disney guy. He heard of the lawsuit in Japan, but I informed him of the Florida stuff. I don't think it'll change his mind. That's hard to say.
It's true. I was trying to explain all this stuff to my mum, and she could not grasp it. Everything about this stupid, woke rubbish.
The other article that I saw, I think was today on my feed, was the whole that they're actually going to help fund the transition for kids and stuff like that as well. That was today, and I saw that, and I'm like, all right, the magical world of I'm out of here is now live because there's no imagination left. Why are you affecting kids' innocence at this point? Like, leave it the hell alone. Get help. Where's Michael Jordan? Get some help.
Stop it. Just stop it.
Yeah, stop it. But Culture, you're shaking your head too because you are a Disney lover. You said numerous times on Welcome to Florida, you've known, you've seen the degradation, and that you can see the disappointment not only in your eyes but in your voice, and you just put it in a shaking of the head because it's like, what is happening?
But you're right, Stephen. And again, I grew up with Disney essentially. Yeah. I mean, I won't go into detail. My mom, our entire family invested in Disney in just a variety of ways, in various ways. And so, my friends, I had many of them that went to work for this company. I'm going to have almost nobody that I know that's working there anymore in the very near future. They're not comfortable working there. There's constantly politics pushed at every level. Their jobs are basically threatened. They can't speak out at work. Mm-hmm. And you're going to start seeing more and more of these protests. I mean, Awesome One was talking about it in the chat before and saying, there's going to be more of these. And I know there's going to be more protests. I think it's going to be bad.
You need to change that sign right there. It says Walt Disney World. You need to cross out the where and dreams and true and just say, come. Just come. Because there's no dream. No, I don't mean like that. I mean, like, just come in. There is no dreams anymore. The magical world of Disney, the magical vault, get your copy of Cinderella for a limited time. All of that is dead.
The dream is
Is it true? Is it true that they're not going to say ladies and gentlemen anymore?
No, they don't already. They cut
they cut with dreamers of all ages.
Yeah. They replaced it with the bologna sausage of that line. But here's the thing. Rogue Disney's 100% right. It's Iger's fault. He put all of these people in key positions that are aligned with this ideology, and they funnel it all down through, and then they hire people that support it, and you end up with this tiny marginal fraction of humans that are essentially driving the culture in that corporation into the ground. and that's bad.
They've lost a lot of money though, right? Like their stock is like dropping like.
Well, they got hit. They're
$40.
They're continuing to get hit. They're sitting right now in after hours trading at 131.65,
and that's from 189 or something, right, from yesterday.
Well, they were over $200 just a few years ago, but there's a lot of stuff. And if you look at the charting events for the company, it's bearish. It's been a bearish pattern there since any of this began, and it's bad plans. Yeah, 131, just not good. But regardless, I mean, Rogue Disney's right. It is definitely Iger's fault. And Terry Rose says you get to be a princess, and you get to be a princess, and you get to be a princess. So guess what? That's gendered language. You can't have princesses anymore. I'm going to start hitting them with all of that stuff. And
I want to be a princess.
You can't do it.
How long until we see this entrance right here switch and Mickey's wearing the dress and Minnie's wearing the pants? How long until that happens?
Well,
that would be the last straw with normies. And I mean honestly, when they're on the verge of it already. I mean, you're seeing this stuff happening way too often, and making it out into public. Plus, you have all these arrests that are happening around the theme parks that, no matter what, seem to snag a few people that work there. That's a bad look, and it's every time it happens, they're going to point at this thing, which is maybe there's no correlation there, but you're going to see that. You're going to see that redirect, and I may even participate in it, even though, honestly, it's not exactly the most forthright way to go about stuff. But look, Blue-Eyed Riv Korean, the base for $2 is question. Chapek have any way out before the boot? He does. It's gonna because if you see the boot coming, you know what the way out is? Get rid of the people that are pushing the buttons on this. So
look at the Discovery merger, for God's sakes. Got rid of the whole inclusion sector. Bye. You're now all included on being fired. Get the hell out.
Yeah, well, they still have don't get too excited about that. They still have a person on their leadership that is designated to do those things. But you're right.
Better than persons.
Yeah, it's true. Very true. And Lord Trinan asked another question. What's stopping Chapek from taking a 180 and just pushing his original policies without warning? There isn't anything stopping him from it except for balls. I just said something on my channel I would never say. He lacks testicular fortitude, and I think that's on display.
The other day, and I wish there was somebody else who could speak here on this better than us, but they keep doing this gender neutral shit and making everything non-binary to the point where you realize that sooner or later you're going to take away what lesbians and gay men aspire to be?
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's the thing. Like, I mean, I was joking about the whole princess thing, but really, like, most gay men, that's what they see themselves. That's what they want to be, right? That's what they want. Like, and to take, yeah, exactly. And if you take that away from them too, like sooner or later, they're cutting their own face off basically here at this point.
But they've been doing it for a long time.
Well,
Tom, and now it's more and more evident. And Joker Voice, I knew a lot of people that were in the college program. So yeah, in fact,
I know a lot of gay people that's against all this nonsense.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Oh God, I know plenty. And then I showed that video last night. You got
TikTok
the video?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have that or?
No, I don't have it, but no, I
can grab it if you want.
Sure. There is a bunch of it going on that people don't want any part of this, and I know Machini has to leave us to go get his stream started.
Before he does, I need to torture him quickly. Can you share that other picture?
What are you gonna do?
Okay, here comes.
There you go. There's your
wow.
I hate that blue costume. I can't stand it.
I shared that yesterday.
Oh, this is gonna sell.
Lovely.
Tom, if you talk about, have you seen the sidebox art though? Like, if you looked at, like, there's some, whoever was drawing it was weird. I didn't like it was some weirdness.
Yeah,
but look at Lady Thor. That's Mighty Thor at the top left. Do you notice how the chest armor balls are down like it's Thor's body, and the torso doesn't match the body at all?
Of course not. Of course not. Well, it's just Steven, I'm taking this off the screen.
Don't. You made us look at Brie Larson for 10 minutes. No. You made us look at Brie Larson for 10 minutes.
No. Look, our buddy Mock has to go get his stream set up, and we're gonna round out with this video that Tom's sharing, and I'm gonna get through the super chats and saying goodbye to everybody. But Machini, I know you're doing your draw stream. You have a special guest.
We're trying to figure that out. It seems our guest Grumpy is having some issues, so I'm trying to kind of so we may just turn this into a regular stream, more of like a catch-up stream in the meantime. So we'll keep you guys updated, but we're going to keep the show going regardless. But thank you guys, everybody, for being here. You guys are freaking amazing. Happy to be back streaming again. Mouth unswollen and basically back at work. So I will see you guys on the Maki Live channel right
See
after
you
the
soon,
show.
bro. See you
Much
soon,
love, guys.
Mac,
Thank you.
Yes.
you're my mighty Thor, baby.
Aw, love you too.
I'll put your
he's
on
gone.
and go to bed.
Yeah. And it's like you said, I mean, if a bully steps up, you always, say, all right.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing you need imagination for at Disney is for their make-believe. Oh, hey now, I can't really say that.
Well, look, let's go back to their gift card. You remember when the gift card came up for the $500 and everyone saw exactly the same shape that Mickey was holding? You didn't see that?
No. But I do know this, Soul Assassin. Elon Musk would have to leverage quite a bit of his company to get to a control position where he could actually affect the board of directors slate. And he would need to do it within the next calendar year for it to even matter at this point. Because I think Disney has about a year of this crap where they're going to just get punished with it. So we'll have to see. But I did get a super chat from Dash Attack for $4.99 saying, "Say what you will about Trek and Halo. Paramount gave us one of the greatest game movies of all time. Let the mouse die. Kill it if you have to."
So, Culture, you never saw this?
This one? Here we go.
No,
Watch.
no, I'm getting you. Right.
But let me put this up real quick. Oh, I did see this one.
Once you see it, yeah,
you can't unsee it.
Yeah. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Yeah. We all know what Mickey likes.
I want to put that in my mouth.
It's unfortunate.
That's crazy.
Unfortunate. But let's play this video because this is something that I think isn't getting enough oxygen. Let's give it some.
Disney?
No, we're going to give this some oxygen.
Oh, no.
Go ahead, Tom.
I feel like this needs to be said. We need to talk about the toxicity of the LGBT community. Number one, you have people who are called MAPs or minor attracted people trying to join our community. No, you may not. And if you feel bad about that, good, because you should be ostracized. You need to talk about little kids being invited to drag shows and allowed to be danced on stage. That should not happen, and you should not have adults throwing money at them. In the LGBT community, we talk a lot about sexual expression and our gender identity, and young kids don't need to be around that because we generally talk about sexual relations or discussions. Gay people need to stop telling everyone that they're gay because no one really cares that much. That doesn't make you important. It just makes you normal now. If you refuse to actually read 7 pages of legislation but continue parroting whatever the gay headlines are telling you to parrot, then you're not actually helping the LGBT community, you're making it worse. When are we going to talk about this? When?
That's actually brilliant. That's a good.
That's a lot of the similar stuff I've heard from people I know in my personal life that happen to be LGBTQ. Very, very similar.
We just don't have the power to, say it like these idiots that on Twitter and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I totally agree with what you were saying.
And they're trying to also disguise it as this thing is like, oh, you're trying to keep that away from kids or trying to deny that it exists. It's like, no. There's a big difference between trying to explain why somebody has 2 mommies and actually explain sexual feelings and shit. And there was that one video that I don't know, I think you were there, Culture, where you saw the other night where on Sporky News last night, where the one from Australia, where they were talking about the whole deal with the stuff that was sent home in the
one of the MPs was talking about it and saying it essentially, and I hate saying these words on my channel, but there was an assignment given to a 10-year-old girl, female, that she should go home and talk to her father about his erections and ejaculations.
What?
Innocence is being kicked out.
That sounds as gross as the New Jersey thing. What that bill was passed, where they're now teaching, what was it, like younger grades about what the Dolores is and what this is and what that is, and they're putting it in the new sex ed curriculum. Yeah,
but here's Chapek does need to put a stop to this right away. Actually, Susan Arnold, despite being a member of the LGBTQ folks, she's not one of these oversell it people, right?
No.
But that's the person I think you're referring to, Susan Arnold.
The people that are calling this the "Don't Say Gay" bill, can we just blame it as a microaggression and just pull the same thing on them in a weird way?
I don't know what's happening other than say that again.
The people that are trying to call us the "Don't Say Gay" bill, which is not said in any of those pages, can we just blame them for using it as a microaggression because they're just using a lie? Let's say it's a
well, look, peddling misinformation.
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is mainstream news misinformation. If you want to talk about misinformation, the title of this bill, oops, there it is. The title of this bill is misinformation. Yeah. It is.
Disney is now misinformation. The magical world or the place where dreams come true. That's all misinformation now too.
Yeah, it is.
The whole idea of having innocence and being a kid is that you grow into yourself and find out who you are through ages. And as soon as you try to take away that innocence at a younger age, you're destroying creativity, imagination, the ability to find yourself, be yourself, and grow as yourself. Because it doesn't happen overnight. It takes a lot of years. And Disney and teachers have no right to do that.
Yeah. Tom, thanks for bringing that up, dude. I appreciate it. And Fat, I think you're
well,
right.
I felt it kind of like summed everything up here real well with the whole situation.
You need more of that. You need more of that, Tom. That's the thing.
Well,
you don't see enough of those.
And that's what I've been saying this last week is between the whole Will Smith thing.
Yep.
And this, the whole Bill situation and how the Disney reaction has been. I feel like this may be the beginning of that swing, right? Like, hopefully it doesn't swing all the way back the other way. I don't want to get to that discussion yet, but hopefully this is a beginning of.
We can't afford for that.
No. But what we do need, and what I'd like to see is more of what we saw this week. And they were literally peaceful protests, not mostly, literally peaceful protests from very organized folks out there saying enough is enough. You can preach and do all this business you want all day long about, difference between, tolerance and acceptance and all that kind of bullshit. Once you start bringing kids into the mix, then shit gets dicey, right? And there is a lot of people who will not sit still for that. And that's one thing I think that I hope they learn. And I'm curious to see how Chapek reacts to this because sure, you can get a lot of loud fuckers on Twitter when you say something about like the trans community, the bi community, the any race or gender as far as that goes, however you want to put it.
Yeah.
But I think they don't realize, and I think they're going to wake up to the idea that Twitter is not real life. And there's a lot of people that don't have time for that shit, but do have time for their kids.
Right. Yeah. And you're in a position now where,
and I think I've heard critical, I don't know, culture. Sorry. I don't know if you've heard this part or not, but I heard they lost over 500,000 subs already on Disney Plus.
They were the number kept getting reported at 350, and then somebody said it was way more.
I heard it was more like 500,000 now.
It wouldn't surprise me. This is going to be bad. I mean, you're going to have a lot of people not review their advanced purchase contract of 1 year.
And I brought it up before with like the whole Gina thing. Is like, yeah, they lost quite a few subs with that. In the dozens, if not 20s of thousands at the most.
Tom and Culture. This is from 2 days ago. 350,000 Disney Plus cancellations.
That's what I'm saying. That was the initial report, and that's what Culture was saying. But now I'm hearing rumors from behind
upwards of that, and I think
that it was a lot more like double that.
I think you're going to hear numbers that are going to be hidden because of their expansion into 41 new markets.
And this is why I'm not so quick now to jump on Chapek either. I want to see how he reacts to this because people are forgetting that they're just seeing this video of him bending the knee. They're not realizing that video is from like a week or two ago, or even we don't know exactly what it came from because it was in the midst of all this shit going on. It was before the bill was passed.
It's going to look bad.
It's going to look bad for you. But here's my point though is people don't realize that was before these protests, right? That we saw with, out front of Disney and all that stuff like that. So, yeah. And there's actually more workers now that are coming and speaking out. And they're like, enough is enough. I'm either conservative or I'm maybe this, or I may not be necessarily Republican, but I am this. And I'm definitely not on board with this indoctrination of kids and shit.
No.
Innocence is being destroyed. It's
not
a
good thing. Kid.
That's right. Speaking of which, Max Relax nailed this. If you need to deliberately mislead people, if you have to do that and change the name of this bill to make it something that it's not, and that means you need a lie to sell your point. Your point must not be good. That's 100% right. And we got a member chat here as well. It says, yes, if he runs for office, I vote for him. Yes, you're talking about DeSantis.
See, I got two things to add that. First of all, I think I saw today, DeSantis also passed a bill now before you graduate. You're actually going to do a class on credit score, how to do your taxes and all that stuff. That was passed through as well, I believe, right?
That's
signed
awesome.
that today. And the second thing is, like, I'm seeing prominent, like, Disney theme park channels, like people who actually, like the shills, if you want to call them, and they're literally they're also going with this narrative. It's at the point where we have YouTube or whatever channels literally saying, oh, I think he's just a homophobe, or he's just this. I'm like, you don't even know what you're saying anymore, because I doubt you even read the 7 pages, and you're just doing this to create whatever type of community to grow in there and fester. What happens when this comes out and it's actually been proven that this is not at all, and this lie gets defeated? These channels are going to get destroyed at the same time. You can't do backtracking when you go down the lie with Disney, the way Disney is carrying this and media is carrying
I think
this.
they kind of are busted at this point. And I think that those leaks, regardless of how the leak of Chapek looked, I think they were strategic. I do. And that's why I'm curious to see what Chapek is going to do now, because now he's in a position to say, look, see, this is not how the majority of America feels. What I was doing was heading down the right path. We should not be getting political. Look what happened. Because there was a lot of, and this is one thing I pointed out too the other day, was you had tons and tons of the money outlets already talking about this. But as far as the main media goes, they were always mostly anti-Chapek, right? God. And all pro-woke. Now, this last week, though, they couldn't deny that this shit was happening, right? They couldn't deny that the protests were happening outside of Disney, as opposed to how they tried to beef up the other ones.
Well, the quarterly report will be mid-May for Disney, I believe, if I'm doing the math right, because it was February 11th for the last one.
Speaking of that, with what's going on with California, have you guys seen this yet? And this is happening now. Los Angeles firefighters are marching towards downtown LA, where a Defeat the Mandates rally is being held. Over 7,000 Los Angeles fire responders are set to lose their jobs over the mandates. Do you want me to play this?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm not sure if we'll get claimed, but sure, go for it.
Shouldn't.
No mandate! 3, 2, 1, no mandate! 3, 2, 1, no mandate!
And this is why the People's Convoy broke up and went back to California to help support these guys and everyone else.
We, the people, will not comply.
These are first responders. Damn.
We, the people, will not comply.
People are sick of it. Everything.
Wow, you guys in America, when you do a protest, you want to show everybody that you're Americans. Let's just get the flag out, shall we?
That's kind of what I was saying, dude, was like, sure, Twitter is like the loudest thing, and that's what the media likes to highlight, but
yeah,
I think that they're not realizing that most of America doesn't tweet.
No.
They don't give a fuck what a Twitter is. They don't have time for that bullshit. They're not aware of a lot of this shit, but they are aware of this don't say gay business. And I believe me, most people have the time to read 7 pages of shit. And they can see that these people are full of crap. And and this whole thing has more to do with, parents knowing what their kids are being taught in school.
I don't know the ins and outs of this, but over here they were trying to put a bill in the government, and Boris stopped it. Something to do with gender and stuff like that. And Boris went on record saying, look, men are men and women are women. You know how dumb he is? He actually said that. And it's probably the best thing he's ever said in his reign as prime minister, basically. I don't know the ins and outs, but somebody told me that that's exactly what he said.
That's insane. But look, here's this thing. So it should be the middle of May. February 9th. It should be March, April should be the middle of May.
The one thing also, I think, like especially with parents with schools, is they're sending their kids off to schools to have a safe environment to learn, and as it's the normal trope goes, to prepare your kids for the future with basic skills. That includes social interaction, and that is no longer happening in the educational system. That's why homeschooling is happening more. Kids are getting pulled out. Kids are even walking out in high schools because it's no longer a place where you're supposed to define yourself. It's a place where they're telling you how to define yourself, and they're throwing this stuff on you when they're not ready. I don't care how mature your kid is. They're not ready. They decide when they're ready. It something will happen in life that makes them start experiencing stuff that brings that reality in. Parents want to have that safety, and it's not happening anymore.
And people who aren't on Twitter and stuff are starting to become more aware of this shit, right? That's the thing is COVID allowed a lot of people to be home that normally aren't home. And that's where I think a lot of people started waking up to some of this stuff, and they started seeing what their kids were actually being taught.
Yeah.
And that was a big wake-up call for some. And then all of a sudden we started getting these leaked videos of people showing the curriculums in some of these schools and just the shit that we could not believe. And then you add that in with like the Reimagine Tomorrow business with like everything else everybody else is doing.
Or you
have to, what about Tom? What about your kids? Are they shoving that stuff in your kids' school?
Luckily my kid is out of school now. He's 20 something. So like, he was also autistic, so he went to a special program school to where they didn't have time to deal with that. A lot of that kind of shit. Like they were lucky to get most of those kids to pay attention for half the day, right? Like just the basic stuff they learned, like just basic life skills and basic math and basic stuff. Like so, like luckily for him, he kind of avoided a lot, but I seen a lot of the problems, right? Because he was disabled, that was one point where we finally got him put in a different school because he was going to a normal school. And I was at this meeting once with all these teachers and the principal and everybody was involved there. And I finally just stopped everybody. I said, stop, time out. I said, here's my question. I said, if my kid was this person's kid or so-and-so and didn't have this disability and he did these things, how would they have been treated? And they'd have been expelled and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, so why is my kid being treated with kid gloves because of a disability? I get it. Certain things, yes. But you guys are also enabling him at the same time. And that's where I noticed issues with the school, right? They were too afraid to take any kind of punitive action in a sense that would make me, and I was that parent that's like, no, my kid needs to take some responsibility for himself. Yes, he has a disability, but he also knows how to manipulate you fuckers, and that's exactly what he's done.
Tom, it falls under the same line, right? Like where we have this debate and people still have this weird ideology with disabled people always in a wheelchair. He can't be racist. She can't be racist.
Yeah, exactly.
Crap.
Yes.
The 90% of disabled people that can still function and carry themselves know about their disability, live with it, and you know what to do? They live a normal life. They're still going to be racist.
They're not above trying to play the victim card.
If I put Black Lives Matter on my wheelchair wheels as a sticker, it doesn't make me any less racist.
That was the toughest part about raising my kid, believe it or not, outside of just dealing with the disability, was this idea that the world kept pumping in his head and that he kept trying to manipulate the world around him through his disability, right? And that's the shit I would smack down right away, because that's the kind of bullshit I just can't deal with. And that's the shit he was bringing from that kind of mentality, this people that are at the schools, because they were deathly afraid to hold him personally responsible for his own actions because of the disability.
Well, that was yesterday too. Twitter. Sorry, I got one more thing. With yesterday with everyone who walked. What was his name? Ricky
Gervais.
Ricky. No. Ricky Berwick. He's the guy.
Oh yeah. He's funny.
So there's this debate going on with the whole the word artard, and how it actually is supposed to. It has a meaning like to and slow, impede, whatever, right? And some guy he used it, and another kid with a disability whose Twitter profile is literally the poster child for virtue signaling at this point. Everything is in there under the sun. And he tries to quote tweet saying, this guy with 450K is trying to use his platform to cancel me or whatever. I'm like, you're using your disability to play victim against a guy who has a disability and many more than you probably have. And he just got wrecked.
Yeah, you just don't do that. Stop like claiming victimhood. That is the problem right now, is people are living on victimhood. But that's anyway. Getting on to this, this is part of the problem that we're talking about. Let us into this weird conversation. Is that we now have parents that have been exposed to what their kids are learning. As Soul Assassin says here, I remember when word of schools sending messages to parents to agree not to watch what their kids are learning on their computer classes. Remember the distance learning that they were doing to, have the kids get education. And they were saying, no, parents, you can't watch what we're teaching. That's a freaking red flag.
Huge red flag.
And of course, we have Dan here. You want to read this? Ian?
Oh, evening, guys. A lot of us Brits can see that this bill for what is... Sorry, I'm reading it bad. A lot of us Brits can see this bill for what it really is. The don't say gay narrative is ridiculous. The bill is necessary to prevent those opening attempts to groom children, which is quite right.
And with the disability whole argument in general, that's like me saying with I'm a disability because of my spine, but I'm not going on every stream going, my spine is so bad. Everyone's coming at me because I can't take a crap without clenching my fist.
You can't call me an asshole because of that.
Yeah, you can't call me racist. I'm disabled. God.
Well, it's about like that one chick who got called out for lying on people, then tried to like call out the news organization MSNBC for talking about bullying online, that she was part of the report, and then she got more bullying for her bullshit in the first place, and she tried blaming everybody else for it. It's like, you're the victim here, huh? It's like, not all the people you lied on and fucking slandered. No.
I'm gonna try and plug Dan's channel.
I'm setting it up right now for you.
So I have to plug the Spacebook channel, Type 40. Just watch it. It's all about Doctor Who. Go to the Spacebook channel, subscribe, and join in the fun. That's all I can say.
But is there Doctor Who on it?
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of doctors on it.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, Small Time Republic says Helen Keller was disabled. She had an awful ideology.
Jesus Christ.
Wow. All right. Look, MTAC shirt rolled in. Good to see you, my friend. We've got another $5 support here from Blue Eyed Roof Korean. The base, thank you, my friend. Says, as long as, of course, these equity groups, BlackRock, Vanguard, is too big to fail, Disney will get bailed out on the taxpayers' dime. Make sure the investment firms' financing gets no bailouts. Yes, that actually needs to stop. And if we put the right correct populist candidates in, I'm not going to say whether they lean left or right. Most populists are dead center, by the way. But if we put people who aren't aligned with these entities and not beholden to these entities, or I'll add another initial based one called the WEF, as long as we can get candidates who are not in a compromised position with those entities and won't allow themselves to be, we will get change in this country and potentially globally as people recognize how to do it. That's how you do it. You take it back. Ordinary citizens run for these positions and replace these career politicians.
You know, it's funny, because that kind of leads me to the point I was going to make at some point. And that was like, I think what really is pissing a lot of these woke folk off more than anything, other than, they showed their true colors. They showed that they really give a shit more about getting Chapek out than they really do give a shit about anything else. But I think what really pissed them off more than anything right now is they played politics ball like they have been for the last 4, 5, 6 years, and they lost for once.
Yeah. And this is exactly what War Monkey's saying. This is
even though they felt like the last however many years with Trump was a big loss for them. Like they just couldn't deal with that shit.
Oh my God. Everyone needs to get over the Trump thing. I'm so sick. It's Trump's fault.
I didn't even vote for the motherfucker. I'll say it out loud. And I'm sick and hearing
Tom,
it.
Marry me and I'll vote for him too. Just make me, I'll vote, and then you can divorce me just to get that vote in, and I'll go back to Canada.
Speaking of
really
which,
just don't give a shit.
Like I said, War Monkey here is talking about this and saying this was one of the few times that the extreme side of things got caught by people paying attention, and they lost a battle along the way. And to that end, Joker Voice sent me a member chat. Thank you for that, Joker Voice, who also, by the way, struggles from a disability. Right, he's a stutterer, but he's also a voice actor and cosplayer. So check out his channel; it's really good. But he says specifically, culture war is coming to a head finally. # keep talking.
The worst part is with this culture war is that we're now getting these idiots trying to also reimagine or redefine what cancel culture is. And I'm not talking with a LeVar Burton saying what is the consequence culture, whatever they call it. They're trying to revamp it to their meaning as well, like saying, well, this is a cancel culture, but this is. I'm like, you don't get to have it both ways.
No, you don't.
But you know what, guys, right? Seriously, as I was saying to you before, culture, the reach is far reaching than we actually think. Well, I actually thought. I can't speak for you guys. Seriously, people I don't even know talk about Culture's channel, Gary's channel, Edge, and everything. They're talking about it. So all I can say is keep talking, because it is changing people's way of thinking, and it is actually causing an effect. So we shouldn't stop talking about this stuff,
Well, I don't know. I agree with you, and thank you for that. But like the only thing I guess I would add to that is I don't know if we so much change people's thinking as it's just people find people that are like, yeah, I thought like that too, and I was so afraid to say that.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's the thing that I think I hear most from people, especially like that I get just DMs on a daily basis, or from people on the inside specifically too, that say that stuff. They're like, I'm afraid. I am afraid to say something. And exactly what that girl was saying in that video at that protest. I don't know if you saw that or not, but she's like, I'm afraid to speak out on my views where I work because of I'm afraid I'm going to get canceled. Right.
Yeah. It is crazy.
Wow. TZ Burton says he will vote for the gay TikToker that was just on the screen that Tom shared with us if he runs. He's speaking truth 100%. Look, I don't care what your preferences are in your life. I really don't. As long as it's not, children, as long as it's
that's the biggest fallacy of this whole thing, and that's the problem we've had, and that's the thing we've got on our sides, at least when this fight is going to come to a head. Is you've had so many of these people trying to paint us all as racist bigots for the past 6 years now or whatever. Anybody who didn't agree with every little fucking thing they tried to shove down our throats, they're going to soon realize we don't have a problem with any of that. And half of us, you don't even really know who we really are anyway. So you don't have no idea what our sexual preferences are. You have no idea because we don't boast about it, right? No. Like that guy said in that thing, quit going around saying I'm gay, because if that's the first thing you say about yourself, that's not who you are.
Yeah. No. It's like people, identifying as their immutables. It's one of the things. If I were, like I said, if I were governor in a state, like the first thing I would do is to remove all of that crap from state documents.
Well, a prime example was the whole bio thing that ended up getting, basically Gina canceled in the first place. The one thing I heard from a lot of my gay and lesbian friends that they said right away about that whole situation is she's right. She's like, you shouldn't have to put your fucking pronouns in your bio because some people don't want that out there. Some people are happy to live the life they are in the closet.
Yep, that's it.
They don't necessarily want everybody to know their fucking sex life, right? Like, so some people may know they're gay. So what?
It doesn't matter though. It's the whole thing though. It's like we have a name at birth for a reason.
That's right.
When we introduce ourselves to other people, especially strangers, we try to shake a hand, depending if you're germaphobe or not. You introduce your name, they call you by that name. The same thing applies with YouTube. What's your pronouns? Well, for culture, it'd be culture and casino. Me, it'd be fat, Steven, and Seagal. For Tom, it'd be mid and night and edge. There's your pronoun. You don't need anything else because we already have an alter ego. That's what we go by. Yeah. What we are. We're not Webster's dictionaries. It's not we have hi, my name is, and then a fucking list that goes down to my junk. I don't want that.
Well, it'd be like every normal person, or sorry, I shouldn't post it like that. Every average person, let's say, coming up to go, hi, I'm Tom, I'm straight.
Yeah, I'm not doing
that. I like to fuck women.
I don't think
I'm partial to blowjobs.
But I don't think
I love lip service.
I don't. Would you? Well, hey now.
I actually did that in Doctor Who.
People are like.
Exactly.
That's what it is. It's like, I mean, fucking seriously.
It's like you're going through you're going through P-Hub, you're clicking the videos you're looking for in a search tab, and that's how they're identifying as.
Yeah.
Think about it for a minute. Yeah. Somebody's telling you, first of all, I'm bisexual, but I prefer men.
And I'm sexual. Yeah.
I actually I'm looking for an agent. I'm looking for an agent, and I sent I sent an email out, and I got an email back. Obviously, they didn't want me, but it did say at the bottom they and them in brackets were after the name. So interesting. I found
that's the best.
Well, they thems are the worst.
Let me acknowledge quickly that we have a new member. Thank you, Scott Westbrook, for joining. I appreciate that. A new member. They're in the rewards club.
I'll tell you what George Carlin would have said about this they them business. It's an assault on the English language. Fuck you. Fuck you they. Fuck you them. You're a he, a she, or a fucking it.
But you know what's interesting about it? When they put it was grayed out. It looked grayed out. It didn't look like it was typed normally. It was gray. What's that all about?
That's just to draw attention to it.
Yeah, right. It's weird.
I have nothing against anybody. In fact, we have people in this fellowship who are several things. All I'm going to say,
you wouldn't even know. Like
I have nothing. I have no hateful bone in my body for any human being in my life. Right?
We have trans people on panels all the time, but you know what they aren't doing? Telling you that.
Yeah.
But I will say this: Eric K for $5 says, "Who are you people, and why have I been listening to you for hours?" Yeah.
Hi, I'm Tom. I'm straight, and I'm partial to blowjobs. I'm a bit of a dom, but I can be a switch. We don't talk like this.
They do though.
I prefer
That's exactly how they talk.
I prefer 2 fingers on the weekdays, 3 fingers on the weekends, and if it's Sunday, it's a holiday. I want just 2 thumbs and a semi-rotational access.
My latest favorite one is just because somebody is asexual does not mean they don't have sex with other people. Yes, it fucking does. That's what asexual means, you idiot. You can't even keep your own fucking pronouns straight.
I think my favorite
fucking moron. Like
my favorite of the new ones coming out. Like I want to be trans autistic. I want to be trans ADHD. I want to be trans.
What the fuck is that all about?
And I'm sitting there going, you what? You identify it because you want to have a disability or you want to have a mental issue?
I can understand. Okay, I can almost understand somebody putting their disability out there. Like that's something I can understand. Like my kid,
trans ADHD, Tom.
One of those people where like, look, if you know up front that he is autistic, then certain ways he will act and stuff will make sense, and it may make things less awkward for people. That's something I can almost understand. But even then, that becomes a bit awkward, even in itself. So most people I know that are even disabled probably wouldn't say that. Like my kid, the first thing he's not going to want to tell you is he's fucking autistic.
Well, Tom, that's like me introducing myself going, hi, I'm Fat Steven. I bang horses. I also identify as a tree.
They do. That's exactly what they're doing.
No. Let's go back to Twitch for a couple years ago with the Deer Safety Council and how that turned out. Nutjob went on screen and then started calling everyone white supremacists.
I'm gonna get culture shut down, so I gotta be good. So I gotta calm down. No,
culture's like these are my friends. What do they identify
Not
as?
anymore.
But if I could, I would transition into an elf. Elf's got it made, other than the fact that he lost his planet and all this.
See, and this
eat a lot of cat.
And this is the thing, right? TZ Burton brings it out. And this is important because guess what? I have friends who have trans kids. Well, of course, they're adults when they decided to do the trans thing, but that's not, so it's not a surprise and it doesn't matter. And we address them as they expect to be, but not with any of these fancy, weird pronouns. We don't have to call them their freaking name. Anyway, I'm going to go on and read this. TZ Burton for $5 says, my wife has a trans niece. We love her. Yes. Doesn't change anything. She used to be male. Yes, doesn't change anything. Conservatives like me do support gay and trans. I want to talk about these issues myself. Right.
That's what takes me back to my point. That's the biggest fallacy these guys are pushing is going to be their,
These fallacies, sorry.
I'm sorry.
But can I ask a question about this? Like, if the pronoun thing wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't coming at us in demands like you're doing hostage negotiations.
Oh, that's why I've been calling them terrorists lately.
It is. That's what it is. It literally is. It's the Websterists.
They've been calling us Yahtzees and shit for how long? I have no problem calling them terrorists.
That's why now I'm going with people when there's the people of color. I'm like, no, technically white and black are shades. Thank you. You want to call them people of shades? You've been microaggressing the whole last 5 years. Just shut the hell up right now.
Well, I've been microaggressive this whole last half hour.
I'm half microaggressive.
Macro aggressive. I haven't been able to talk.
You ain't seen macro yet.
All right. Well, let me put it this way. That 70s rock fan shot a member chat out saying, "Hail all, what a beautiful panel, thank you, and keep the faith, brothers, the tide is going to turn." Well, it might be, but I do appreciate what TZ Burton says here for $2, saying, I love how calm Tom is all the time.
Right. You want to see me go macro, it'll be like fucking Patton.
Give it 6 months and you're gonna go to an art.
War is hell, kids.
Give it 6 months.
This year,
it's a dirty job and somebody's got to do it.
You guys want some snacks and comics? I do. For $5, Snacks and Comics says, thanks for the Sunday entertainment. Thanks for being here, Snacks and Comics. Appreciate you.
I do give it 6 months. When we're going, if it goes crazy, we're going to go into a Wendy's or an Arby's. How would you like a he, him, them burger? And I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm going to go. Would you like some shim nuggets? I'm out. I'm out.
You know, you joke about that, Steven, but we're going to get to a point where when you roll up to a drive-thru, they're going to be like, "Hi, welcome to Wendy's. What are your pronouns?"
Oh my God!
Would you they know your pronouns so you don't get mispronoun in the drive-through, right? Like, because here's somebody where I've had a very elastic voice my whole life. Wow, big surprise there. Like, so when I was younger, I did sound like I had a higher pitched voice. So you do realize how many times I get called ma'am in a fucking drive-through? You just have to get over it after.
Before I donated my hair, we went to the Vegas meetup last summer, right? Got to hang out with, Salty Nerd Podcast and Geary and Comics Division and many other folks, right? And Thomas Gilkey actually was there. And I was sitting at a bar, sitting at a gambling machine, right? Just sitting there having actually at the time, a water bottle. And I got approached from behind and hit on by a dude because my hair thought I was a chick.
He's like, dude looks like a lady.
You know,
That's crazy.
I didn't care. It doesn't matter. I'm like, yeah, oh, hey.
Most guys would think that's funny as shit.
I did. I laughed my ass off.
You get yourself a drink. You can be like, yeah, but you can still buy me that drink. You know, like,
Yeah.
But it happens, and you know what? I don't care. And people who take it personally, I can't get into that mindset. I just can't. I grew up at the perfect time. None of this crap, we'd already wiped it out. And in my lifetime, we went about doing it even better than it had been before, wiping out these ideas, these petty prejudices.
Well, speaking of that song, I think I even read somewhere that Aerosmith won't perform that song anymore because of protest over it.
Oh, stupid, isn't it? Stupid. Have you guys ever been in a unisex toilet? I went in there once, and this girl was saying something really stupid about pronouns, whatever, and I rushed to the cubicle, and she can't use obviously the men's thing, so good. So I was like, yes. Now she has to wait until I'm finished, because I refuse to pee in those little things when there's women around. I find that highly suspect.
Well, there's a big reason why over here we have
stupid
separate bathrooms. It has just as much to do with keeping kids safe as it does with men and women are two completely different fucking animals. That's for a reason. Women get in there and they yak and yak and yak and yak and yak and they do their fucking thing. Men just get in and get the fuck out. And not only that, most of us would be embarrassed if women would see what men's rooms look like because we don't take very good care of them.
No, we don't.
Man of War 665, the neighbor of the beast. Did he put one hand or both on your shoulder? I only got one. I only got the one hand, but it was surprising for him. I will tell you that. And then there's girls out there going, "It's because you rock." Thank you, love.
Guys, check out Crocodile Dundee.
TV.
Sorry, it's like Crocodile Dundee, where he was like, "That's a dude, really?" And he puts his hand. Mick just goes with the full hand.
Right.
Goes, or you are a dude.
Got a wanky.
Very strange.
Now that scene would probably get cut out of the TV network version now.
But before that scene happened, he was in the bar, remember, and there was that gay guy, and that's why he did it to the old woman in the other pie that connects those two.
And she liked it. That was and it's a joke, and it works, and then they get along. Yeah, it's not like he has a problem with it.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. Like, anyway, sorry.
Well, Rough Girl does have a channel, and you made Vegas fun too. Everybody did. We need to all get together.
When are we going to do that again? When are they going to do it? Because I want to be there the next time.
Vegas is next summer, or this coming summer, I should say.
I don't think I was more depressed than that week, you guys.
I know. I tried to get you there.
I know you did. I love you, man. That's
and then we got Florida. Florida's coming up here in just a couple weeks, actually, at MegaCon, and then again in October. There'll be a big thing in October, middle of October. So if you're traveling from anywhere, the Orlando one will probably be the biggest one. Vegas will probably be also pretty big. But I have this sense that Orlando is going to be very big indeed.
Yeah, if it's too big, I might not be able to reach you.
Oh, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. No. As long as there's not a bunch of dudes trying to hit on me. No. I don't care. That's the other thing. I've been hit on by dudes before. I don't care.
I used to work. Okay, I'll take Culture Henderson out for a second. I used to work in a drop-in center that was literally based in the gay sector or the gay area of Toronto. It was Church and Wellesley area, right? It was called the Stroll, but it was also for kids and their teens who were actually prostituting themselves. And what we did is we go out once a night or twice a night a week, and we would hand out sandwiches, do needle exchange, hand out condoms, and all that stuff. And we even had people while we're doing this, the drivers that come pick them up will actually stop by me and they were like, "Hey, well, how much do you cost?" I'm like, "I'm holding a bag of sandwiches and needles. Do you think I'm having a party here? I'm just move along." It's like,
wow, yeah.
It's
very strange. I mean, and it's one of the reasons why the narratives don't work that they try to call us all these things is because we're regular people, charitable givers. We spend time doing the right thing. It's very odd. But Man of War apparently got hit on by a waitress. That's awesome. Oh, you guys are incredible. We've gone way longer than normal. We've dug into we're at 2.5 hours. Is there anything else you guys, I know we're on fire. We've got a huge audience. Is there anything else you guys want to cover before we try to get people over to check out?
Even though I missed all the main stuff, that's my fault. So
no, it was a lot of fun. We talked a lot about Sonic's success. Then we talked about the Warner Brothers stuff. And
that's where I could have added some business, but
I feel like Tom. I feel like Zaslav is doing what Chapek didn't do, which is fixing the crap.
I hope so. He's got a problem though, or two, and he's going to.
Toby's not long for that gig. I don't care what anybody says.
I hope not.
Because really, he's the last thing in the studio side that they really need to shake the tree on. If they got Emma in there, I think she'd do a good job.
Who? Emma Watts?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I know it's a
I
weird.
mean, she's not bad, but I haven't really been able to see her do much because they didn't let her do anything over at Paramount. So,
Gosh.
anyway,
I was a fly in those meetings. I tell you that for nothing.
Well, I had so much fun. You guys, the audience today, you guys were on fire. Thank you for all of your support, for hanging out with us for as long as you did. There's over 100 of you. If you just rolled in the door here in the last half an hour or so, because I know we have a rotating audience, please, if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. If you are, if you're interested, hit the member button and join. It's not expensive, and we're over 100, so that's going to be amazing. And then we've got. Obviously, hit the like button, but check out all of these folks. They're amazing. I hang out with the coolest people on the planet. Ian's got a couple of channels, and he's very talented writer, director, producer. Obviously, Fat Steven is a very well-followed creator now and does a lot of really cool stuff on his channel. Varied content, not just games and stuff. He does all kinds of things, including covering the Freedom Convoy. I mean, he really, whatever is going on, he gets a good piece of. And then, of course,
I'm on vacation right now from all that stuff.
All right, okay. Well, Tom as well does so much stuff. There is almost no streams ever that you can't find Tom on for some reason. He's omnipresent, I believe.
I think I'm going to do a Mead Radio here before I have to do tons of work.
Well,
but
there you go. So
we forgot one thing. I don't know if we shouted out. Wasn't it Runner's birthday yesterday?
Technically, I think it's either today or whatever. Yeah,
Runner, he's still here.
Birthday shout out.
Yeah, it's either today or tomorrow. He did a pre-birthday stream yesterday. I think that's because he had time and he wasn't working.
He's finally a man.
I don't know if that's the case, but
we're going to
running to jogging.
I'm going to let you gentlemen promote yourselves on the way out the door. You guys are so great. You have no idea. I can't say enough positive about the audience that we draw. You guys are wonderful. But let's get Tom the opportunity to talk about stuff and things.
I like pizza. I like turtles. I think chicks are cool. I'm gonna do some Mead Radio. I think everybody needs some Mead Radio in their life. Let's do some Mead Radio.
That sounds good. Man, and you can tip Tom.
I'm the Michael Caine of the Fellowship. I'll take that with great pride.
I know. Yeah, and you can tip Tom to get a song from your favorite.
Some people
television.
just want to watch the world burn.
That's right. But Tom will do the radio, and you can send him a tip to get him to play a song from your favorite TV radio.
I never watched Jaws: The Revenge, but I saw the house it built. Very lovely.
That's Facebook a terrible English accent.
The best Michael Caine I can do.
And Facebook, just reach out to me on Twitter. My DMs are open.
And Fat Steven's channel, check it out. He's awesome. So
that's what I'm working on. That's gonna be a new show. I'm just looking for panelists, so that's me grifting.
That looks amazing.
It's like the X-Men thing. Previously on X-Men.
That's so great.
All
right, and of course we also have the talented creator and director, producer, writer, and other things, Ian.
Hello. You can check me out at the Rebecca Gold channel, which is on YouTube. It has a web series on there, has my feature films on there. So knock yourself out. That's all I can say.
That's right. Check out the Mega Geek. He also does some social media stuff. And
the Mega Geek almost seems too smooth to be here.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I heard him reading that super chat. I'm kind of iffy.
Well, there was that, but
yeah, I was a bit rubbish with that, wasn't I? Let's face it.
You remind me of Mumbles from Dick Tracy now.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I need to throw some food down my throat and get back to
work. But Mead Radio and food.
Well, the boss.
Well, what time's it over there, guys? What time?
Oh, for me, it's different.
Almost 5 p.m.
Almost 4 here. Almost 5 for Steven. Probably 5 for Culture.
I know it's not.
You're behind me. That's right. Duh.
I'm 2 hours behind Central.
So you're actually. It's like just the afternoon for you.
Yeah, it's not quite 2:00 yet. So. Oh. But you guys are incredible. I love you all. Thank you for joining me today. Ian, you're welcome. Whenever you
love
have
your hair more, Culture.
I know.
I love his beard.
I've got to get Dan in here.
Did you watch the deal we were doing last night on Grant's birthday or bachelor party after you left?
I hurt myself so bad.
Did you see that you became one of the things in the game? Like one of you were one of the things, and it went from I put you in there myself too. Because my thing was, I can't remember the name of the fucking thing. It's like some word game thing. I put in Culture. The people had to draw CultureCasino riding a unicorn. It stayed through most of it but it went from Culture Casino riding a unicorn to Jesus riding a unicorn.
This didn't turn into a unicorn riding culture. That
Makes
would have been
sense.
weird.
I know that would have been really weird, but it managed to make its way through most of the way, as long as, like, hey, Jesus and culture, they're very synonymous.
No, I wish that were true. I look.
You are like Christ, my friend.
I try. It's driven in me. I had a great upbringing. Let's put it.
I bet you if you wear sandals, everybody asks for your autograph.
You walk on water when you go home at night.
Here's the problem with sandals and water. It's real slippery. I did that in a theme park one time. I was wearing flip flops. It was in California. It was
Those are kind of like sandals, yeah.
Yeah, I was
Never wear flip flops.
Oh, it was bad news.
I don't know if I can picture Jesus in flip flops though.
Nah. Oh, hey, I had some of those. I had some really nice leather sandals, but not Birkenstocks. I didn't dig those, but yeah, I've done it before. Anyway, I gotta go. I love everybody here.
You make him a diet. You make him a holy figure. He just keeps going on and on.
I thought you'd get a kick out of that.
I did. It was fun. Be sure to take care of yourself.
Oh yeah, and you were naked too on top of it.
But yeah, you were buck naked.
Unsubscribe. Be sure.
The whole thing kept turning into penises, so I was so proud of that.
Let Casino talk.
You took that rainbow tail and use it as a belt so you didn't fall off.
Go on, Casino.
Just end it.
Bye. No, I mean, be sure to take care of yourself. Take care of others. Wash your hands. Because it's good hygiene. And until next time,
you
got a super chat.
Oh, Toxic Man Flu.
Caught him.
Toxic Man Flu says, for $5, I heard Culture was telling us about his dates with other men on the stream.
Oh dear.
That's when he got molested in a bar.
Once in a bathhouse, always in a bathhouse.
Don't forget to wash your hands.
And your towel.
Thank you, Tox, for the super chat, my friend. And with that,
don't forget to bring your towel.
Don't drop a nickel. You don't know who's behind you.
Bye.
Bye.
Culture Casino also likes long walks on the beach, burly men named Frank, and leather sandals.
Eric K got a super chat in with $2. When if this stream is ending? That's what he said.
Tune in next week where we talk more about naked unicorns.
Culture likes pina coladas and getting caught in the rain.
He wears those tiny umbrellas.
Terrible.
He's
I'm trying to end the stream.
I think we should culture
watch chicks do it.
Culture Casino needs his own face as pasties.
I knew what you meant there. I was just picking on you. I just can't quit you, says Toxic Man Flu. Culture Casino show.
I like cake.
Toxic Man Flu for $2. I just can't quit you. And with that, have a great day, everybody. You guys are awesome.